This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 832 for the week of Monday, September 2nd, 2024. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
Sorry, I forgot Steve was here. And on today's show, we have a very special guest.
I was just talking to you.
I said it's been a day. We have a very special guest translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. We have Stephen Paul with us. How's it going, Stephen?
Hey, Josh. It's going pretty well. The weather is
that on purpose?
Warm and crisp. It's nice here, though.
That's wonderful. I'm very happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's Josh McKenzie. We have Josh on.
Hi, everybody. You may know me by my online handle, user Sanji's Cool. I'm here to talk about this magazine.
No, that man is not Sanji's Cool. Stop
And
impersonating him.
His username Zoro is hot.
Shit.
is that your
is
side
it
handle?
Zoros, as in multiple Zoros, are hot, or Zoro is hot?
Yes.
You're not allowed to do that. And finally, I'm going to introduce him. Ken O'Connor is with us. How's it going, Ken?
Hey, glad to be back. Hey, guys.
Yeah. And if you didn't notice by the Sanji Zoro back and forth, we are going to... Josh, can you describe your initial reactions to this and before we get into things?
Yeah, at Anime Expo this past summer, my boyfriend purchased a copy of the magazine, and it's been sitting on our table untouched since he got it. And I opened it up, and I was just struck by how outrageously gay this magazine is. I don't know what I expected, but it's so much worse than I ever did.
I said when it was announced, I said that the cover looks like a wedding announcement.
Yeah, it really does.
100%.
Yeah.
So
Wedding announcement. Free stickers inside.
That was a good wedding announcement.
Yeah.
Before we get into things, though, I want to let my best friend Ed talk a little bit about what's been going on.
Sure.
With him.
Yeah, I was recently hospitalized for a month, so around about the end of June, I started noticing that I was having numbness in my left hand, which I thought was like a carpal tunnel issue or like a positional thing with a pinched nerve. So, and then I went on vacation to Washington for the One Piece Symphonic concert and hanging out with Alex for a weekend. And I was having a little trouble moving my left foot and stuff and my left arm when I was there, which ultimately led to me missing my flight initially before having to get rebooked. But I was having trouble walking and moving my left arm. And I'd already scheduled a nerve study for my left arm when I got back from vacation. So that was July 17th, and the doctor who was supposed to do that study, the nerve thing, sent me to the ER because he noticed I had a facial droop, so I had weakness in the left side of my face. And basically, I was in the hospital for like a week after that. At which point, I went to an inpatient rehab facility, and I was there until August 17th. I was just discharged a couple weeks ago. I am back home right now. I have caregivers 12 hours a day, basically, and I gotta go to outpatient day rehab for 3 hours, 3 times a week, so 9 hours total a week. Still can't really move my left arm, and I'm having trouble walking, even with the cane. Better at it now than I was before, but yeah, it's difficult. So they think I had a stroke or possibly some kind of MS attack, but yeah, they said I had vasculitis, which is the blood vessels in my brain were like restricted in size, so my brain wasn't getting enough blood. It was some of my blood vessels were referred to as what they had beating, which means they kind of look like a snake that ate too much.
Mm-hmm.
So blood flow is restricted, and so I had to sit still. I had to lay still for like an hour-long MRI of my spine and head, and a couple other uncomfortable procedures as well. So they have this thing called an angiogram, which is where they inject dye into your femoral artery and take pictures of your blood vessels. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, we love you. We're glad you're back.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Glad to be back. So if it sounds like I'm making a lot of magazine noises when we're doing this review, it's because I can't really read the magazine with two hands.
And not because of the wedding announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, then that's good because that's good Foley work. You'll really be sucked into the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I really wish I could have been in New York for the show.
I know. We all were saying that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I also didn't want to make you feel bad by saying that the whole time.
Too many steps in New York, especially on the subway.
You'll get there. I mean, it's been... I'm not just saying this because I'm biased with speech pathology, since that's what my wife does, but just I think the amount of progress in just how you've spoken from when we spoke, I think when you were still in the hospital to today, I think is really remarkable. And great that it's, I mean, I
basically can't do anything independently right now. Like I couldn't go to my car, I couldn't drive anywhere, couldn't get in the car basically.
Yeah.
Couldn't cook for myself, couldn't take a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're making baby steps there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we missed you in New York, but I just missed you in general. And
Yeah,
that's the real thing.
It's sucked not having a show, but it sucked just not having you home. You know,
yeah,
recovering, and yeah, we were keeping in touch for a while, and was just hoping, for a speedy recovery. I'm glad you are where you are right now, and I'm glad you wanted to be on the show. You didn't have to be, but the fact that you came on here and even like kind of just, bared your soul here and told people what's been going on. Thank you for doing that.
Seriously, people, if you experience sudden weakness or numbness on one side of your body, if you notice part of your face is drooping, your facial muscles are weak, you have a facial droop, go straight to the ER because you might be having a sort of a brain attack, basically.
I know we had a friend of the show. I'm not going to say who though, but although I think he's mentioned it a lot, but I still who had a stroke also in his early 40s, late 30s. I don't remember. It was a while ago. So
speaking of my birthday, the first Sunday I was in the inpatient rehab facility. That was my birthday.
Oof! Happy birthday!
Yeah. It's been a rough couple of birthdays the last couple of years.
Yeah. We should do something next year. We should do something big for Ed next year. This is me making the note so I don't forget.
I did get that gift you sent, the one you saw on Shark Tank. I tried the soup.
Yeah,
it was
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It was okay. Yeah.
Okay. I know.
What was this?
Sorry, it was a soup maker?
So no. So Ed was watching a lot of Shark Tank, which I have also.
Pot?
When it's on CNBC constantly, I understand. Like,
I was just trying to watch the Olympics at the time.
Oh, right, and it kept, and I guess that's what played after. Anyway, it's this. Why am I advertising for it? They don't pay us.
Yeah,
and
fuck
the
them.
soup was just okay. I don't have to.
Said Chef Zeph at the end of the Baratier arc.
I mean, Ed, we're always here for you if you need anything. Thanks. And I'm so happy that you're doing better and that you're home.
Yeah.
And I'm
supported and all that stuff.
Yeah, and
I'm not horribly constipated anymore.
Love that.
Improvement.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my that's off air
Your
for
constipation?
me.
Okay.
No, I wish.
That.
Boys,
I'm
we
sorry,
got an episode with this.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to keep tying this into some One Piece references? Because I can. But
yeah, go for it.
I don't want
All right,
to.
tying constipation, Steve.
So now, if Luffy were to ask you the infamous question, you can happily respond with, "Yes, I do."
Yes, I do.
Ed, great. It's really, really, really.
Thanks
really
for being
heartwarming.
on today.
Yeah,
And thanks for.
You,
we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about this wedding
very silly
invitation magazine.
Yeah.
We're talking about the silliest thing this week too. So we're going to be talking about the One Piece magazine. Steven, I'm guessing the title is in English on the cover, but does it have another title?
Sanji Zoro special. If you read the Japanese on the side, it is the Wings Zoro Sanji. So already we have some controversy over who goes first, but
so we'll get right into that.
What is this? A Twitter thread?
we'll get
That's all
into
a
that
podcast is. Yeah.
Right after these messages, we'll get into Zoro and Sanji and Zoro.
Simba.
Yeah.
All right, let me let him out. Give me a second.
Delaney, yeah, that one you could put in.
Yeah, he knows that Daddy's potting, so he's gotta cause problems.
Yeah, he knows we're gonna talk about a little yaoi right now for the next. Josh, do you understand why I needed you on for this specifically? Zoro and just I need a Team Dark on generally.
Yeah, well, I thought there would be like, a little tee-hee, a little ha-ha, very cute, but like this magazine's outrageous.
It leans into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise it would just be us talking like, what's better than this? Guys being dudes.
Heterosexual, yeah.
Yeah, heterosexual, yeah.
That was the funniest thing, Zach. That was the funniest.
I was getting off of a cold, very tired, and not really knowing quite where I was. We might as well go straight into it. Yeah, Steven, tell us all about this magazine.
Okay, we're rolling. Sorry, I was
We're rolling.
Simba out
We're
of
doing
the room, so
we're doing the old what was it, the WTF with Mark Maron thing, where we're just rolling straight into it.
okay. Yeah, this is issue where is it? 18 of the One Piece magazine. Came out back in June, and it is the wings of the Pirate King issue. Sanji and Zoro, and
So the right hand and the left hand of, yeah.
Who's left?
Well, on this cover, it is Sanji, apparently.
Yeah.
There's an interesting
Oda's a
thing
lefty.
which people pointed out, which is that the English says Sanji and Zoro, but the Japanese, if you read it down the middle, it says Zoro and Sanji. So, which I have to believe was definitely intentional because they don't necessarily want to play favoritism,
Maybe they wanted to avoid that thing with like certain movie posters where like the actor's name will be above another actor, and it just looks very confusing.
Also, yeah, that's
Someone
true.
has to be billed first.
And also, doesn't Japanese go from right to left?
Yes.
No, sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, horizontally, they stopped doing that after like the occupation around World War II. But like,
I'm in touch with today's youth. I know what's going on in Japan.
The pictures of like storefronts and things from like the Meiji era, early 2000 or early 1900s and 1800s and stuff. Sometimes you'll see stuff where it is horizontal, but it is still right to left.
I'm hooked into that Meiji restoration style. Thank you, Josh, who is face palming right now. Okay, please let's move on from this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is also I think this is the first one that has an actual dust cover. All the previous ones had
I was gonna say,
the embossing straight on the hardcover. I'm not sure why. I mean, they have like a cute little.
I was going to say, Ed, I know these are like, you're a big fan of the chibi faces, right? The little Zoro Sanji faces.
Yeah. There's a whole collection of those in the back of one of the color walks. I was using that as my avatar for a while.
Right. That's why
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't even take the cover off. That's so cute.
I'm sure this is not going to bother anyone but me, but they removed the volume number they moved the volume number on the spine. So it doesn't match the other magazines anymore.
God, by the way,
it's the Simpsons head DVD cases. All
yes.
The Easter egg is that on each one there is one of the other ones. So there's one Zoro on the Sanji one, and there's one Sanji on the Zoro one here. Yeah.
Yep.
So pick up these magazines. By the way, we're going to be making lots of references to it. If you'd like, they're available wherever you get your.
Yeah,
Japanese
I got mine at Kinokuniya. Yeah.
Yeah, Kino's good for that.
So there's a little bit of Sanji and Zoro in each other.
Okay, that's
you got your Sanji in my Zoro.
Get it? I'm writing that down.
You wish.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
So we'll start off with the dream illustration that Oda did here, and this one is kind of interesting because they actually printed the prompt, which kind of goes into Oda's choice here, and you may have seen this illustration on Twitter or wherever, but the prompt is, what if Kaido and Big Mom experienced their youth together, in the sort of the classic Japanese way, and the person who sent this in drew them as like students. So Kaido is in his school uniform and he's riding the bicycle, and Big Mom is seated on the like the rear wheel cover, sideways, as you do.
As you do.
Yes. In her school sailor fuku with the skirt and everything. And Oda's response to this was to draw young Kaido and Big Mom. These look like they're in their like early 20s or something. He's just riding on a Harley like through a pond or a river or something
on the ocean. It's a sea bike.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't notice that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
kind of.
In One Piece, all bikes go through the water. Maybe that's what we're learning here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they have devil fruits.
He's drinking and driving, and she is eating a hamburger.
Eating and driving.
Yeah, and he put this really weird, like, I don't know, this Photoshop filter over this thing that just looks like a layer of soot or car exhaust or something over it. So it is a very dirty looking illustration, but
I think that's I got it.
Has a very strong biker vibe to it.
Oh, it's like
tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know Big Mom had all those tattoos, and I don't know if she actually
I don't think she does. Yeah.
Because Kaido doesn't have those.
You're right.
To draw Kaido for the show. I'm aware of his tattoos.
Yeah, and so Oda's comment on this is, yes, thank you for the your dream setting, but even in my dreams, I cannot imagine these two going to school. So yeah, they're not in school uniforms, but what do you think of this youth? So this is his version of that. Yeah.
Biker gang and Gumar.
Yeah, they're hot. I like it.
Yeah.
I like this too.
It is.
Well, what are those black and white portraits of Zoro and Sanji on the previous page? Are those from something?
Is a good question because I don't.
It is definitely from something. I don't remember.
Oh, that's an old illustration. Oh, I don't know the origins, but it's definitely in the color walks for sure.
I was gonna say it looks like
I could check.
Walking.
Yeah. While you all go,
you're gonna get all of your color walks out.
Actually,
I can 3 now.
I can answer this question because Zach gave me his color walk compendium from East Blue to.
I did.
Fucking whatever. Anyway, so all of the Straw Hats have these portraits, and it's in that book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It also looks like it's from one of the ending songs, kind of.
Right.
Ending animations.
3 or 4? I know which one. I know. Which
So Chichisuke?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The jazzy one.
I don't know. And I've also just been on the One Piece internet for a long time, and I've seen like multiple wallpapers made from these. So.
Oh yeah,
okay,
yeah, for sure. So yeah, this is of course the Sanji and Zoro special issue, and there's going to be a whole ton of stuff that we will go through that talks about them. And lots of, as the One Piece magazine so often does, just lots of really nice color printing of
cool.
various illustrations and media materials and things, many of which you may have seen before, but they're all collected together in this very nice and attractive form here. So we have Chivalry Sanji and Bushido, Zoro Kishido and Bushido, and we start off with a bunch of these are clearly taken from the digitally colored version of the series, but it's just a whole lot of cover pages of featuring Zoro and Sanji from the the reader requests and the ones that Oda just used to draw unprompted between the various cover stories. And it's
they forgot one.
A best
I definitely
of
forgot.
here.
The Zoro duck, I don't think is here.
So what's this message from Oda here on the next page?
Yeah, there's a. Are you talking about the Big Mom
previous
Kaido
page?
one, or
the one that's above the fish head Oda?
Yeah, that was Oda's comment about
signature
about not being able to imagine Kaido and Big Mom having going to school.
Yeah, it's confusing because there is another page with the fish head with quotes, but no,
I was gonna say with these cover page illustrations, I was like, is there really only that few? But now that I think about it, every time he would do a cover story, he used to just cycle through the Straw Hats and then start another cover story. And then when he started expanding it to other characters, that actually makes sense.
F the Straw Hats, you know,
like,
we don't need them anymore.
Yeah, no, this is just a selection of theirs, so it is not comprehensive. We're on page 12 and 13 here. It's
not comprehensive.
No, it's just a selection of the ones in some various choices. But yeah, you have Zoro's, Sanji's, and then some with both of them.
Yes, Anarchy in the BM. Speaking of, there you go.
That was a fun one.
What a title. Still one of the worst.
And following that on 14-15 here, we have I feel like this is just a cast off from those Facebooks that they did, the collections of
One Piece faces.
Yeah. And these ones are organized by emotion, so we just have a bunch of close-ups and just cropped little bits of Sanji and Zoro. First they are smiling and laughing, then it's them crying, and then on the other page
is the only Zoro crying as an adult is the one where he got beaten by Mihawk? I see no other adult Zoro.
I think that's correct, yeah.
Versus Sanji, who's like an entire half page of just... Wow.
Yeah, hey, maybe the more positive masculinity is
Sanji.
is letting go.
Interesting. Yeah, Sanji's positive masculinity. You heard it here. Steve Yurko says that Sanji is a good example of masculinity.
Boys cry.
Yeah, Delaney isolate the footage. We'll be needing that later.
Wow. There's some interesting statistics.
Bullies everywhere. Sorry, Steve.
There's some interesting statistics about this stuff later on, which we'll get to, where people were counting up like the number of things that happened really for Sanji and Zoro, and I think this is some of the topics that appear. So we also have the angry faces and then the smug faces.
That's what those are called? Smug? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, yes. I was wondering what the category for those.
Smirking,
Smirking, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're like a lot of the badass poses, I think.
Yes,
but I guess smug is correct. Some of them. Not all of them.
Have you guys ever been to like a wedding where it's like a couple that's been together for like a really long time, like high school sweetheart type wedding? They will always have in the Midwest, okay, they will always have a board that looks like this because they've got so many photos together.
I've seen those. Yeah, we didn't have that, but I've seen those.
You guys need to know more townies, I think, is your problem.
Yeah.
There we go.
Not enough Michiganders here.
Yeah. That's why I moved to LA, Josh.
to become a coastal elite, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Following that, we have just a selection of some promotional art. We have the obligatory Treasure Cruise illustrations,
which are always obscene,
recognizable.
Obscene is the word I was looking for.
Obscene, yeah. I mean, the one here of like Zoro and Sanji. Zoro has his swords and Sanji has his foot out in a very strange perspective, and there's just like millions of effects all around them.
I was going to say though, Vero last week, I know for the Yowie Thunderdome we had some official art from Treasure Cruise on there, and it was somehow more suggestive than the unofficial art.
Yeah, there's some cool like collaborative stuff here. Like I was not really familiar with this one on the left, which is a Grand Blue Fantasy Film Red collab illustration. Which, now that I say that, okay, I can recognize the Grand Blue like art style, but it's a pretty decent one of Zoro and Sanji. And following that, we have a bunch of the card game illustrations, and this This just looks like oh, I've seen these collections hanging from a PVC pipe setup in Artist Alley.
Wow, I was almost going to infer the same thing.
Yeah. When you see them all together like this, I mean, they're all very cool and so I don't want to.
No,
anyone's yum, but
it's not necessarily an insult at all. I mean, there's a reason those folks are in Artist Alley.
Yeah. Well, and why they're also on the One Piece cards, right? Because people love these kind of illustrations.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Well, do you guys have a favorite of these? This feels like a large enough selection. We could ask.
I don't know. To be honest, they all kind of blur together to me.
Yeah.
Well, I really like
there's
because
some that stick out.
Yeah, these all blur together for me. It's like a lot going on in every image, but I really like these. I really like these drawings of Zoro and Sanji in the corner, the ones that are kind of nude. You know what I mean? Nude as in there's no backgrounds. Sorry, I better.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific, Josh. In this magazine, you're gonna have to be specific when you say stuff like that.
But I like that this Sanji is sort of off model in an appealing way. I like what they did with his expression.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's from the one of the starter decks. That art.
The two I was gonna mention is I like the Zoro Mr. 1-1. I think that's fun.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah, and the Sanji one, I don't know how to. It's the one where he's kicking with fire. The Whole Cake Island one, this one, I think sticks out a little more. It looks a little bit more kinetic.
I liked the Sanji from Wano, which does have Zoro too, but Sanji is definitely up front. The one where they're protecting Otama in the market.
I did see Zoro in the background there.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
That's on the bottom.
That's a good one.
Sanji would enjoy that card. Oh, can we turn the page and Josh have opinions?
Yeah, here we go. What are these? Some of these.
Oh,
yeah.
What are these?
Okay.
So the ones on the right page are from like they call them the Yakara can badges. And I don't have any of these. I don't own any of these things, but I know that there's a bunch of these.
I'll send you one of your favorite Glup Shido the next time I go to Japan,
Nice,
Steven.
thanks.
I did that for a few people.
So what's this on the left side here? What is this?
Yeah, and the one on the left is the July 2016 issue of Tarzan, issue number 700, and One Piece Film Gold. I don't know what kind of magazine Tarzan is.
Oh shit! I may have one of those because I know
it might just be for topless jungle men. He's going by this illustration.
I don't see a Pearl illustration.
I would
Check out the ads. Wow.
Someone throws something at him.
Oh, okay. I think Tarzan is a fitness magazine. What a letdown.
Okay.
Fitness.
I mean, they have abs for days here, so I get it.
Yeah, too many.
A distressing amount of abs. Yeah.
People should not have that many. I think the ones on the right are not all, but some of them I know are reworked. They look like reworked color spread art.
Yeah.
Again, Sanji, too many abs. Is that the title?
The Bruce Lee Sanji. Yeah.
Just keeps going and going. Oops, all abs. There it is. You're going.
Yeah. On the following page, I really like this one here on the right. This Seiko 5 Sports collab.
I'd like this one too.
Yeah. Where they got some active wear. I think those look real sharp with them.
I agree. I've always been saying this that because we have like I won't bury the lead too much, but like of all the Zoro outfits, the ones where he's an athleisure are the sexiest. I'm not a Zoro I'm not a Zoro Juro fan. I'm not as big of a fan, but when he's in the athleisure, it really all comes together.
Wait. So I don't have fashion sense. When is Zoro in athleisure in the series?
Well,
his outfits.
It's one piece athleisure. Like I'm thinking of like his tank top moments. I'm thinking of the one from Film Gold where he's literally in a ball cap and like camo.
So it's
shorts.
like Skypiea. Is Skypiea athleisure or is it just him in a?
No, that's like a coat.
Tank top.
It's like a coat. Yeah. So no, he's not in it very
That's
often.
Why I'm
but every time he does. Oh, I would say his Stampede look, that like onesie. That's like an athleisure moment.
I was gonna say I have to look at it, but I guess I'll find those images.
Yeah. I don't want to skip forward from Steven's walkthrough too far, but
yeah, please go. We have steampunk here.
Special shout out on the left side. It is the Halloween visuals. If you look closely, you can see the little like pumpkin badges that they have. But yeah, it's this pseudo. It is almost steampunk. It's not as steampunk as the one up in the corner, but the one where the like Sanji is wearing brown pants and Zoro has like a brown vest is extremely silly looking.
I was gonna say I don't like this. It's too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially that look on Zoro's face is very dorky.
I do like the pins though. The little pumpkin pins are really cute.
That's the Halloween angle to it, I guess.
I don't know why it's on Zoro's head, but I agree.
Yeah, that was
don't understand
that was that is listed as September 2018 Tokyo One Piece Tower Halloween visuals. So that was part of their decorations for the season.
Alex got jump scared at these images.
Mm-hmm. So then we will go on to the next page, and here's a little artist pickup. Yeah, this is Lack, as you can see here, who is an artist who has done some of the One Piece card game ones. They show a little in the corner. They have a Ace picture that he drew for one of the Ace cards in the One Piece card game. And yeah, this is a great illustration. It's like a noir, like the detective Sanji and Zoro.
I love that aesthetic personally. I know Josh may prefer athleisure, but
no, I'm sorry. This is impossibly hot. I'm just gonna.
Okay, good. I'm glad we all agree.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're not all gay by the end of this episode, what is this magazine even doing?
Zach out here making promises.
Give it time.
Give it time. We'll get through this magazine.
Keep them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really cool. But yeah, this person has a lot of credits to their name as for illustrations for other trading card games and
I want this series.
Mobile games
we talk about spin-offs we want. Totally would like this. The two detectives who hate each other, but somehow work really well together, and also live together.
It's fun. It's funny because he says, like, oh, I wasn't really sure about in this little interview. He says something like in the rough sketches, like I didn't know for sure if I wanted Zoro to have his swords or not, like if it would match this aesthetic, this worldview that he's depicting. But I decided, the suit and katana thing is cool, so I'll go with it anyways. But now that I'm looking at it, he's wearing the coat. The coat is going all the way down, like it looks like a normal coat. Where are the body of his swords? Because he just has hilts sticking out. If those are
he
his
just
swords,
likes hilts.
Like, does he have like a little tail flap on the back of his coat for the swords to stick out of the back? Because otherwise,
just hanging blade back there.
Yeah.
I can't beat that.
Yeah. I think he's just excited to see you.
Yeah.
Are those your three swords coming out of your ass, or are you excited to see?
Delaney, isolate the footage. My trench coat has a slit in the back. Yes.
So many bullies here.
On the next one, we have another a similar illustration. I feel like I've seen this person's. This is Ryosuke Takeuchi. Who has a big social media presence, and I don't know if this is the same person that I'm thinking of, because I know I've seen like artists that do a lot of like,
is it
modern
like
day casual
characters from different animes, in casual attire, walking around,
going
in Tokyo,
right, going
same
to like,
artists,
the soju
that is
bars
so my
and stuff like
aesthetic.
that.
I love that. That's my aesthetic.
I follow them. Yeah, they're great, and like what's great is they have like a really great style that you can tell like they don't spend too much time in detail, but
the line width is very uniform, so it's like
colors
quick.
Are flat.
Mm-hmm.
But they recently it was shown that they did like Nami and Vivi artwork for like card sleeves for the card game, and it's like you could tell. I was like, oh, when they have time and they want to put in the time into rendering, it's
does it say their handle?
Detailed.
Because now I'm just curious.
No, it just says on social media. I think they didn't want to like advertise.
What was the name again?
Ryosuke Takeuchi, and it looks like his little avatar is just like a blue mouse.
And so you can see in the background that there's a parking garage exclusively for the Straw Hats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
There's
I
a
love
lot
those.
the
I love that
flags and
middle
stuff.
flag rendering in particular. I would totally get that.
Like the ukiyo waves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like. I feel like the problem with the One Piece the One Piece flags, not fans. The fans are great. Is that they do start to look a little samey. Skull, black background.
Yeah.
But at least to hang on your wall. These I like.
Yeah.
Right.
It's cool. And following that, we have some commentary stuff, and this is like, I remember when we went into like the what do we call it, the deep dive on Oda's design deep dive, was that what we called it, where we had like 4 episodes that we dedicated to one issue of the magazine. This is kind of similar, but it is commentary. What's that?
Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt, but I was just looking up Ryusuke Takeuchi.
Oh, you find
have a little connection to him in that he worked on All You Need Is Kill, in collaboration with Obata. I guess he helped with the storyboard organizing. I don't know how that works in manga, but
so yeah, we're gonna have some commentary on design here, and this comes from Midori Matsuda, who is listed as a character design and animation director from Wano to the present on One Piece, and Keiichi Ichikawa, who has been an art director from Whole Cake Island to the present. Both of them have done work on various specials and movies and stuff. So they talk about the character design for Zoro and Sanji and some of the details. Then there's a modeler, Noriyuki Yamaguchi, who talks about the kind of like the 3-dimensional aspects of the characters. And lastly, there is Hirosumi Saito, who is a costume designer who worked on the One Piece on Ice, which also has a section in this magazine. So they talk about the costume design. And I don't know. There's obviously a million details that they're pointing out here. So I don't know if you guys have any questions about them that I can just read off the page here.
I have a few. Okay. Let's. What I'm mostly excited about is on the left-facing page, so page 31 here. Mm-hmm. I want to know the technical detail about Zoro's eyebrow furrowing, because that's one of my favorite features of his.
Okay, yeah.
As Steven gets ready to read that, sorry, I got distracted about talking about that previous artist on social media that I failed to point out. Josh, Sanji's wearing the Leon Kennedy jacket. That's what happened to that jacket.
Oh, no, 100%.
Sanji took that jacket.
Ashley Graham sold Leon's jacket to Sanji.
So it looks like Sanji's crotch area has been circled here.
Okay. So let's get into some of these these details. So Josh asked about Zoro's eyebrow. So there's 2, there's adult Zoro and child Zoro, and they both have the like the furrow of the brow in the center of his face circled. And so that was identified as like a point that this animation director was likes to focus on, or is always conscious of with Zoro, is the furrow of the brow. It's the way that the lines like curve upward, the angle that the eyebrow comes down, and then the brow itself, the skin kind of folds upward, is when when it's coming down from the top, that's a sign of like the strength of the core of his emotion, or the strength of that aspect of his character comes out to the fore in his expression. And with the childhood Zoro, it's more rounded, which is more of an expression of when he is worried or sad. So that comes out more with childhood Zoro, but with adult Zoro, it's more straight lines. And then let's see, Ed mentioned the Sanji's crotch is circled. This is, let's see. Let's see. So Sanji,
he ain't kidding. That's what's happening.
Yeah, Sanji has. So this is about his waist, and like
sure it is.
The profile, which is that
he's always wearing are so well tailored. Yeah.
Which is that he has a very like blocky waist. Like it is not a like the sides of his silhouette do not tuck inward. They're fairly straight. So yeah, he and that extends down into his legs, so they make his legs look longer that way because they're just an extension of the line that comes down from his torso. So that's what that is about for Sanji.
What about on
Sanji's snatched waist?
On page 33, Stephen? What's the?
You're right, Steve.
His uvula is being circled, like his mouth, inside his mouth.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a uvula. That's the issue.
I know that's the issue.
Yeah. So the comment here is when a character's mouth is wide open. This is not isolated to Sanji. It's pretty much anyone. It's something that Oda does. He very rarely draws the uvula. Side note here too, the uvula, like the colloquial name for it in Japanese is Nodochinkos, which means and I will just tell you this right off, that it means throat dick.
Let's fucking go. That's the episode title, Zach.
Throat dick?
Sanji's throat dick.
Yes.
My favorite detective.
4, Steve.
Oh, no,
That's 4.
that was a few pages ago, actually.
That's the name of the spinoff.
That's the name of the spinoff. What was it? Sorry.
Nodochinkos.
No, the Nodochinkos.
Oh,
that's the name of the detective agency they have. Steve, you're drawing the detective agency.
I thought I was drawing the throat dick.
That is the throat.
That's what they're called. They're the dicks. They're the throat dicks. That's what they're called.
Yeah. So he is explaining.
Yeah, I made that joke.
He's explaining in this comment that animators tend to draw those because they're a very convenient and easy to understand like symbol of when someone is screaming. Like if you can see that, it's a sign. It's like a symbol of like, oh yeah, this guy's really screaming his head off. But because Oda does not do that, he has to, like, as the animation director, he has to make sure that he always erases it when, if an animator draws it or if it pops up.
I gotta say, in all the years I've been reading this, I've never noticed the missing uvulas.
Yeah,
Steve, have you noticed that? I'm asking this genuinely.
Have you ever thought about it?
It's true, Your Honor. It's true, Your Honor. This man has no throat dick.
The case of the missing throat dicks.
I do want to. I mean, well, it's a topic I'm sure we could talk about forever. I noticed, like, both on the manga illustration and then like the anime Genga, there's like a blurb about over his hair. I'm sure maybe the manga one's maybe about the hair covering the face, and maybe the other one's about the highlights. I'm kind of just curious what they gotta say.
Yeah, let's see. The manga one is about hiding the eye, so it's more talking about the asymmetry, and is saying that he loves that design because it reminds him of Cyborg 009, which was his generation. And then
not Troa Barden.
On the Genga side, he is. It's more of a note about like the balance of how long his bangs and how long from the top they go. So yeah, it's about kind of managing that length of his hair. Nice. Let's see, what else do we have? We have some more design commentary. Yeah, this is more like the two animation directors kind of having a little interview and bouncing thoughts back and forth about like the subtle changes in between their pre-time skip and post-time skip outfits and their general atmosphere and the ways that they react to things and stuff like that. So it's a lot more subtle commentary.
Is that on the following pages?
That was 34 and 35.
Right.
There's not a ton to look at there.
It is a reminder though, because like I think a lot of the anime, but how like the color, some of the Straw Hat outfit colors were different in the manga, and we got robbed of this nice shade of blue Sanji was wearing in his shirt. Instead, it was that like seafoam turquoise that they kind of reused from
that's
End
true.
of Alabasta.
It makes me sad that I completely don't see those things. But,
You're missing out, Zach. This is a hell of a blue.
You won't believe how good this blue is.
I know. I have to take your word for it.
I really admire this section of the magazine because Steve, I don't know if you have this sort of issue, but I feel like when drawing, especially Straw Hats, it's very easy to like go off model derogatory. And it's sort of interesting to see the people who in various incarnations make the media talk about, hey, these are anchors that we make sure to pay attention to. Paying attention to Zoro's charm points, for instance, I think is very good.
I love this kind of stuff. I think if I had access to this kind of material back when I was first getting into the manga, well, it would have been like, that would have been my Bible. I think there was a previous edition of the magazine that kind of talked about even more do's and don'ts with I don't know if it was Sanji and Zoro. I know Zoro, they kind of talked about like, oh, like don't break up like the line of the side of his face in like 2/3. It's just like, it's one line that goes up to his forehead, and just a lot, it always has angular eyebrows. I thought it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. 36 and 37, we have the modeler who I believe, these are his models here. This is from the Banpresto World Figure Coliseum. I guess it's like the figure Paramount War Volume 1. And it is some action figures of Sanji and Zoro. And, I'm not a huge figure guy, but these are pretty impressive in terms of like the sense of movement in the clothing and the way that he depicted them. Sanji doing his like kick with his leather jacket, splaying out, and his tie flying to the side, and Zoro doing his swing with his jacket around his waist, and the sleeves are flopping around and stuff. It's very cool. Following that, if there's no more comments, starting on 38 and 39, we have actually several pages here, sets of pages from the costume designer Hirosumi Saito from the One Piece on Ice, just talking about various aspects of certain iconic looks throughout the series for Zoro and Sanji, using some anime illustrations.
That first Zoro look is very much an old man's outfit.
Yes, the East Blue,
that shirt and the haramaki.
Yeah. What are they saying exactly about the haramaki?
Yeah, I would wear this.
The haramaki is, let's see, they're saying, I think that the combination of the haramaki as like the highlight of this particular outfit is genius. It would normally feel very Oji-san-ish. It's very kind of old men, but because he is such a handsome character who has such a good figure, and he's muscular, it really feels like a fashion piece rather, and part of his characterization than just sort of like an old fogey thing to keep his midriff warm.
Many are saying this, yeah.
We got his Alabasta look, the New World look, the Wano look, and even the on the next page, his egghead look. Speaking of the like sort of spandex athleisure look, and then his of course his film red festival outfit, which is just unspeakably slutty.
It's so good. Yeah, whorish, even one might say.
Like, if you wear that,
also have the Arlong Park looks and Sabati archipelago looks with the open shirts.
I always love that. Anytime Zoro wears a shirt, he immediately shrinks.
Yeah, he has tiny arms.
As soon as he takes that shirt off, though, he's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah.
That's anime logic, Steve. You get the extra abs when.
But I think it's great because, he would look uncomfortable if he was just. I'm sorry, some of you lads, but he would look uncomfortable if he was just bursting out of his casual clothes all the time.
You know,
he's gonna look relaxed.
From the few illustrations that we got for the One Piece, it looks more like that. I'll say. I think that he looks more built, just right out of the gate. And yeah, that you need some lankiness. They're One Piece characters, at first at least, or East Blue.
So, the next page is the tail of the tape.
Which one is that?
You mean the costume timeline?
No, height and weight profile.
You may have skipped ahead. I'm looking
page 30, page 52.
Oh yeah, you're way ahead of us, Ed. We'll catch up to you. But yeah, we're have
slow.
Then we have Sanji's outfits in a similar arrangement. The East Blue post time skip. Whole Cake Island with the cape. That's a great look for him.
We're at 42, by the way.
Yeah,
for those reading along.
Sanji's Wano outfit, and of course Soba mask and egghead. I forgot. Did we have a consensus on Sanji's egghead look? Was it good or bad?
In terms of, I like it. It's a Hawaiian shirt with a hoodie. It's kind of unique.
I like it.
I don't like the egghead outfits generally. I think this outfit looks. Yeah, I think this outfit looks good on Sanji. I don't get the aesthetic generally on egghead, but I guess when you have Albert Einstein designing your clothes, how good are they going to be?
I agree with Ken. I think the top is a sleigh. I think the shorts are the wrong length. I don't think knee length shorts were the move.
Maddie
would
disagree.
Leg hair, though, yeah.
The leg hair, yeah.
No, I would have said
no, you'd say shorter.
Either shorter or longer. It's just an awkward place to. This is fashion advice for any listeners.
I need it, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah.
Clothing that cuts you off at the knee is tough. No matter your height, it's a tough wear.
Yeah. Good call.
Noted.
Thanks, everybody.
And then the next page is Eternal Pose, the ending, I guess. I could hear the music, right? Isn't that exactly what this looks like? Or is that just me?
Did they do like a time lapse thing?
Yeah, of all the straw hats. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a chronology of Zoro's outfits. Way more than what we saw on the previous page, but this is just showing them all off. There's not a ton of commentary. And
even the additional Wano gear. Wow, you had a lot.
Mm-hmm. Here's the biggest crime of these timelines here with both Zoro and Sanji. They, I guess, they had the episode of Mary TV special character designs, and I think that special had a specific character designer, and they used those to represent, Peak, that is Water 7, and I don't like how that special looked. Everyone's so blocky and rectangular.
I see what you mean.
Way too shiny, and the colors are kind of slightly off. I'm a little bummed when I turn to see, Pumpkin Spice Sanji, aka Water 7 Sanji, and he's just very.
Which one is that? Oh, okay. I see on the.
Yeah, I see the one in the second row. Yeah, on 47. So I guess I also have to ask here, favorite Zoro outfit of these. You have to choose one,
okay.
Josh.
44 and 45.
44 and 45.
Yeah, I have a favorite. Does anybody want to go first? Are you just asking me?
I'm going to go with just...
Yeah, favorite and a dark horse, like one you wouldn't expect that you also love.
All right, my favorites are Candy Stripe shirt Zoro from Sabati and Skypea tank top.
Oh,
Those are right.
Ed,
Those are right.
Ed, you're so right.
I'm just gonna go with classic original Zoro. I just still think that is like the best. My dark horse though, Arlong Park.
It's very good.
It's a great shirt.
Blue shirt and bandages.
Yeah.
You know, he just looks good in blue. I believe those are all
boy
blue.
looks good in blue.
Yeah. Maybe it's the green blue thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say I really like the Arlong Zoro. My dark horse Zoro. I think he looks great in his Dressrosa disguise.
That's a good one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
The mustache. That's a real sharp one.
I'm a little upset he doesn't have a tie also, but that's fine. I like ties.
No, he has to show off his décolletage. There's no need for a tie.
Ken, do you have any?
No, I was agreeing with Ed. The candy
Ed
stripe
is
one's
right.
pretty great. Yeah.
I think my only
God,
dark
look at
horse would be Zoe for the same reason. Is that blue? That's blue, right?
That's the blue one, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the size of his neck and those Wano designs.
The backpack is cute. I agree. So
It's
because
simple. It's good. Yeah.
Because Ed already said Skypea, which is easily best here. I'm going to say that the Water 7 Zoro is my favorite. I love the yellow jacket. But my dark horse, you guys, Drum Island Zoro. That coat is sexy. The full length coat is everything.
Which one?
With the
one
blue-
he
with the
owned
brown
or
fur
the
at the
one that
bottom?
he stole?
The one that he stole.
The one he stole.
Yeah.
The one that was not his. He just stole it off of Wapple's guards.
Yeah, because he was
And he
was
didn't,
skinny
and he didn't
dipping.
even know they were baddies.
Yeah. It's a lit coat, folks.
We mentioned it. The Gollywog Company is good too, but like I'm trying to think of anything that stands out. I'm sick of seeing the Fishman Island one. Anyway, Sanji favorites and dark horse.
Yeah. Okay. Sanji.
Hard to pick.
I wanna give a shout out to Raincoat Kid Sanji. Kids look adorable in raincoats.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's just a fact of life.
I'll also give a shout out that they included college experimenting Sanji with his Kamabaka look. They had to throw that in there too.
His face there is pretty great.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm going to be cliche and say classic Sanji. Blue pinstripes is still the best.
What about him holding bags at Waters? Or where is that even?
In Alabasta, yeah.
Alabasta.
That might even be I think he was shopping. Those could be the bags from Rainbow Mist. Dark Horse though. I do like Davy Backfight. I even think his second Skypea fit is good. I know people tend to just think of the pink one first, but I do like the second.
The Gotta Light.
Yes.
Sanji, yeah.
I love the whole cake looks, both the wedding one and his Vinsmoke look. Those are really good.
White tuxedo Sanji.
Yeah, white tuxedo Sanji.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the one
that one's good.
who's wearing the
Virginal
takoyaki
white
shirt.
Sanji.
Yes, original white Sanji.
I said virginal.
Yeah. Well then.
I mean, also
Jeez, Ken,
original.
you didn't hear
Sanjis.
virginal?
No. I missed that somehow.
Just has a
I
have a thing where I don't hear the word virginal. Are you talking about the ones on the bottom right with the, I don't know what color those are, but the darker shirt and the red tie? That's Whole Cake Island, right?
That's
like
Whole Cake
later?
Island. The middle row, all the way on the left hand side.
Yeah, no, that one I like too. I don't remember the one on the bottom right at all, but I really like it. That's a good
Bottom
one.
right.
Bottom right.
Bottom right.
46.
That is.
The Whole Cake Island, I would assume.
Yeah. Because that was the new bounties and all that stuff. So
I really like. I mean, I'm obviously biased toward it in general, but I do think that the Skypea outfits, kind of across the board, are all great. So I definitely I do love the red and pink shirt for Sanji there, and
I like the blue one more. Yeah.
And the cutoff pants below the knee, as Josh pointed out.
Yeah, Sanji likes
important.
that. Yeah.
do they still call them capri pants?
Yeah.
Or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know
but
Capri Sun is moving to plastic bottles?
No, they're
that's a crime. Are you serious?
yeah, isn't that against the ecological
They're pouches.
What's
tide?
the point?
If it's
How
not,
you ever get?
if it's not in a sack, I'm not drinking out of it.
Thank you, Josh. Finally.
Isolate the footage, Delaney. I
How
want
are
to
you going to
say,
turn into Alex Mack things now?
Right.
that's a good one. I want to say it is hilarious that he's like they literally have the same stock footage, especially the bottom left on 47. Like they're all the same Sanji holding a cigarette.
Yeah,
in
the same
way.
pose. Yep.
Makes me laugh.
I love his I love his big silly winter coat from when they first get the egghead. Just the one
so
line
stupid
down.
looking.
He definitely looks like, all right, son, you're all dressed up to go out and play in the snow.
I'll say,
Yay!
Sanji has some pretty ridiculous looking outfits.
Is it the middle row on the right? Is that one?
The middle row on the left on 47, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, bottom row on the left.
Bottom row.
Yeah,
Bottom
the,
row,
the
yeah.
32 parka that he's got. Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't put him in the mask as a kid, because at the top of 47 they have him as a child.
You know,
like he has like his like number 3 shirt.
not trying to
It's not
depress
him.
people here.
Ken,
I guess.
Ken, torture devices are not fashion.
Listen,
I'm not engaging in that.
How I feel about Sanji's fashion overall is that it has no lows like some of the Zoro looks have, but they also aren't quite as high for me either, but they're much more consistent. I agree with Steven that I think Skypia was a high watermark for fashion in One Piece. But my favorite is this one at the bottom of page 46 between Soba Mask and this Onigashima look. Is this just regular Wano, the cranberry suit?
Oh, that's a good one.
That is
a
the
good one.
Oh,
yeah,
the
that's
gloves.
That's the
gloves
raid on
one.
Onigashima. Yeah.
Yeah. The gloves are very hot to me. But my dark horse look is this dead in the middle of page 47, this like polka dot number. That's very good. I don't know what that is.
Zo.
Yeah, that's
Zo.
Zo.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That was a good one.
That's a sleigh. It's a color blocking victory.
Yes.
it's very
Wait, is
good.
Mr.
With the
Prince
orange
in this?
jacket?
Mr. Prince isn't in this, is he?
yeah, what a crime.
Yeah, well, I guess it was a different person.
torture devices.
Torture device.
With his glasses, his sunglasses.
Agreed. I agree with that. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably misses his old sunglasses.
Anyone else
There's
had?
more on the- There's more.
Okay,
on the
I'm
next
sorry.
page.
Yeah, well, the next page
there
is
are?
a fun one because this is the
Oh,
theatrical,
geez,
the
these.
theatrical fits.
You want to talk about some highs and lows?
Yeah, you
boy.
know both actually, because I
You know,
I do really
Sanji
like some
never
of these.
committed a fashion crime in the canon.
In the canon,
Then we get
yeah.
to the movies.
Oh yeah,
You know what? Strong World, the first Strong World one, and the cowboy hat for Sanji, so crazy looking. I like it though. Like not my
those are
favorite,
good
but
looks.
it's a good one.
Josh, bottom of 49. Is that the short length you want for Sanji? The orange shorts?
Yeah, well, I mean, do you see how it makes his
Those
legs
are
look
That's so
longer?
much better. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
much better. You're right.
Yeah, it's
Who
a more
dresses
it's
like
a-
that?
It's a more appealing proportion. Well, I wouldn't wear like a blazer with them, but
Yeah,
I'm not
that's what
Sanji.
Yeah,
Whatever
it
the
can't all be
hell is
Sanji.
going on around his neck and underneath his shirt, is that a scarf?
I think he's tucked a scarf under his tank top. It's like if 2008 ate somebody and spit them out. That's what they would look like.
he's doing an MC Escher thing here. These
You know,
Like,
I don't know if this
Zoro
speaks to.
has.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I said Zoro has way more hits than misses in the movies, but Sanji, it all started going downhill with the big collar white sweater with tie and lime and the lime green khaki
yeah,
cargo
Blood pants.
shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I totally forgot about these peppermint striped shorts with tie look. I guess this is.
that was film gold.
I forget when that must have been, because it's not the beginning of Film Golds, because that's the bucket hat with the Crocs. When the hell? This might be.
It's
This
okay,
might have been
it's-
after they got robbed of their money.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
the caption here says it is what he wears during the I guess strategy meeting in film gold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awful,
Wasn't he?
awful look.
Wasn't he getting birthed half that movie? I'm trying to remember.
No, that's
That was
Zoro.
Zoro. Yeah.
That's I thought we were talking about Zoro. Sorry,
Like,
because he also
look at-
has this like
look at-
camoing.
The second row from Stampede, Zoro's sword, short pants onesie.
That's pretty great. The green one.
Yeah, the sword logo stuff all over it. Yeah.
He looks like he's on vacation.
It's a Uniqlo a UT collaboration for Stampede.
Looks like
It's crazy how some of these are my favorite and some of these are absolutely my least favorite. Film Red really just, what was going on in Oda's head when he designed those? And he did, I believe. And Egghead, he hasn't been on the ball with those as much recently. I'm going to say it.
I think Film Red is a sleigh across the board.
Yeah,
I think they're all really good.
Disagree. I think the girls are just like wearing Nami's is great, but like Robin's is kind of a mess. But I think everyone else is.
Yeah.
Are we talking about their normal looks or their pirate
red
looks they get?
I have no freaking idea.
I was thinking of the
at the
pirate
end.
looks.
At the end, Uda makes them all wear the pirate costumes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of Film Z for some reason.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Film Z, I love
Sanji
those
appears to have a
outfits.
plaid blazer for Film Z.
Yeah, I remember that one. I like it.
I will say that I don't think Zoro has a bad look in any of the movies. I think these are all good. Okay. Sometimes when you're watching a show like RuPaul's Drag Race, all right, like sometimes a drag queen will walk the runway and they're like barely wearing anything at all because they're just really, really good looking. You know what I mean? So it's just like a little dress, and that's like the whole fashion. And that's Zoro in Film Gold in the top left corner for me
with the camo shorts.
Agreed.
Yeah. The camo short and the ball cap is impossibly hot. Yeah, it's the best look of all time.
Looks like a leather cap.
I'm also a really big fan of the Sanji where he has the tie on the shirt. It's not actually a tie.
I hate that.
You hate that?
That's
I think that's great.
I like
And
that
then the
one because
one
it
where-
looks like he's running like a food truck.
Yes.
Stampede?
outfit.
Yeah.
With the apron.
Yeah.
I think
Early
it's
Stampede.
over the top. Him in the did you talk about the apron one with the cleaning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed
For
that.
for me, the stupidest one is easily Sanji's pineapple sword and Crocs outfit in the corner down in 48.
Bottom right, yeah.
With the bucket hat.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's pretty stupid.
It does make him look like TK from Digimon. It really
Oh
does.
my god.
But yet he slays in the one right after that, and I mean, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But,
It's
okay.
casino outfit. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Strong Worlds, that number is... Yeah.
Oh, you don't like the pink moment? I like that.
No. The cowboy hat, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
That one.
The tie over sweater.
Yes, thank you. That's
Lime green cargo
Oh yeah,
shorts.
I like the pants. Yeah, I don't live for the sweater. Actually, that like boat neck is an interesting choice for male fashion, breaking gender norms. Sanji's doing.
Oda does do that with his fashion. That's true. Okay, we should move on. We've been talking
we've
about
gotten
clothing
all of
for a
that
long
out.
time, which I guess.
So Ed mentioned earlier the next we've now ventured out of the color pages and into the monochrome printing. So this is more of like a sort of clearinghouse of info details. We have some profile stuff for both Sanji and Zoro, and this is all basically just stuff that is on from SBS questions and on their Viva cards and whatnot. All of their, height, weight, bounty, age, blood type, favorite and least favorite food, and all of those things. So they have all been, covered before. I will give a shout out to the very last question, which is who would they be in the family? And Zoro is the eldest son. Sanji is the second son, in parentheses, delinquent, which is it's fun. And you also have the like the gender bent versions, the future versions of them, and their autographs for Bartolomeo's autograph board.
Yeah, I just realized, does Sanji actually kiss the board as to do that? Like, is that what's happening there?
Yeah, he probably does.
He applies the lipstick first.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, just like Steve Buscemi in Happy Gilmore, or is it? No, that was Billy Madison.
No.
Yeah.
No,
he is
Billy
based
Madison.
off of him. So
Yeah, exactly.
Glad I called that guy.
Isn't Zoro's signature just sword? Isn't that what it says?
Yes,
Or-
that's the kanji for
Yes.
Katana. Yeah. Yeah, fun stuff.
I don't know how to write my name. I can't read. He definitely can't.
Then we have the sort of character affinity and connection chart. So, you have stuff like the little family tree for Zoro that we saw in the recent SBS. And then just like various characters whom he is connected to, such as Yosaku and Johnny, and obviously Mihawk and Perona, Ippomatsu, Tashigi. Characters with whom he has had a particular relation. And same thing for Sanji, of course. I got the Vin Smokes and Pudding, Gin, Duval, Ivankov, other folks like that.
I need a Zoro's dad face reveal yesterday. Like, it's crazy that they're holding this info back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming he's dead. So, unless he's alive, and
I just want to know if he's handsome. That's all.
Photography was invented before.
Maybe he looks like the. Maybe he looks like the Shimotsky.
He's gonna look like Zoro. Yeah, so and
so.
No,
he could look like the guy with the pencil eyebrow. What's his name again? I keep forgetting. The really, really hideous looking one. That's the one I'm referring to.
The sword maker?
Yeah, that's what his dad is going to look like.
I want him to look like that, like really hot guy from Thriller Bark, the zombie one. The one he's like related to or not related to or whatever the power scalers were saying. Yeah, that's like it's something in that ballpark for me.
I want him to look like Zoro, but with a mustache.
That's the answer. I like it.
What kind of mustache?
Like, I'm talking like Magnum PI.
Like a nice bushy one.
Yeah, I want that stuff catching crumbs.
No, Mr. Zoro is my father. Yeah, please.
Following that on 56 and 57, we just have a character chronology of kind of what they were doing at different ages of their lives based on, obviously, all the scenes that we have seen in the manga. So this is all, pretty straightforward, known material. And then we get this is some kind of collections of just cool panels. For the most part, it is a focus on Zoro, like how he has grown as a fighter over the years, and so it shows his the way that he turns the swords black, the black blade. Thing, and the various moments where he feels like the the breath of all things, or whatever it was in Alabasta. Boy, that really happened a lot. I have not heard of that since.
He's never had to cut anyone made out of steel.
Yeah,
he did it with Pika, kind of. I think that was more observation hockey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think he
transposed that term.
Yes, recontextualized it there.
So yeah, maybe it was just like it became hockey.
This Skypiea stuff. I mean, God, I need to do another reread. It's all so good. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
On the bottom, we get all of the swords that he has had, including Wado Ichimonji, Sandai Kitetsu, aka Kitetsu III, Yubashiri, Shusui, and Enma.
Josh, if you're looking for another Zoro tattoo, though, that Skypiea Zoro on the bottom is probably a good choice.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Sorry, earlier today I was at the Japanese grocery store, and the cashier was like looking at my arms as I was checking out, and he was like, "Is that a One Piece reference?" Mm-hmm. There's just pictures of the characters.
The one that,
it's not like Steve's. Yeah,
no. Well, I mean, I have the same tattoo, but it's like Zoro's face. It's like, yeah, it sure is a One Piece reference.
It's a reference to the series. That character.
They were just trying to start up a conversation, and you just.
This is why men don't talk to me at bars. I'm not very good at it.
I don't feel bad because my conversation would probably go similar. Just be like, "Is that a One Piece reference?" Yes.
Bye.
Have a good day. Well, bye.
Following pages, we have the same for Sanji. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that he has learned, all of his Diable Jambe stuff and his Skywalk abilities, and on the bottom, his the usage of his Germa raid suit and science and whatnot. and the ways that his innate genetic manipulation is kind of coming around. We see that more often with Sanji.
His bonitis.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, his bonitis.
That's a great joke. Yeah.
And then we get on 62, we have a collection of the team up attacks, which are always, highlights of any arc. And that includes the Davy backfight, where they take down Big Pen or Big Bun. When they attack, is this the Pacifista? Yeah, that's the Pacifista.
Yeah.
And then most recently, King and Queen. God, that kick from Sanji, that is just outrageous. Yeah. The angle, it's amazing. Yeah. I love it.
The just do it Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh my God,
that's like a 140 degree angle there. Or no, sorry, that's not 140. That's like a 200 degree angle.
I will say the anime improved it.
Well, I mean, yeah, the anime did a lot for a lot of fight scenes in Wano. Mm-hmm. Then we get some more on 63 here, just more sort of like battle. I don't know, just various errata and facts about the stuff, the ways that they act in battle. Not anything super important. 64 and 65, we get the sort of the daily life or the daily routines of the characters. So we see a lot of examples of Zoro sleeping on the ship, doing his training, some of his training montages, the ways that he interacts with the rest of the crew. We have a little selection of Zoro and Chopper.
Those
panels.
Are amazing.
Yeah.
I love those.
Which are fun.
I've always loved those
big
two
bro,
together.
little bro sort of thing going on.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Well, Chopper is the youngest son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
Sorry, Steven, I'm laughing. You said like this is like the daily lives of them, and like, oh yeah, Zoro passing drugs at Chopper on a daily basis. Yeah. Chopper looks like he's just cracked.
Chopper, did you get drugged again? On a Tuesday? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then let's see, what is 66? Yeah, more just character stuff, like Zoro's lack of direction in general, like sort of clumsiness.
The chimney.
Yeah, the chimney, what did they call him? The sea anemone or the sea urchin in the chimney.
Oh, yeah. That.
Him jumping out of the ship in Skypiea, and Zoro's love of drink, too. We got him with his well bucket full of sake.
I always love that smile after the raid or during the raid with the alcohol.
And then we get again same thing, but for Sanji, several pages of various character aspects of Sanji, the way that he helps out the crew by cooking, and his connection with animals, going back to his childhood with the little rat that he fed, his all of the books that he has, like his child book, Sanji and knowing all of the old children's stories is kind of a theme that pops up.
His fear of tarantulas.
Here, Ken, you can observe Sanji in his saw torture device. So so your disgusting hunger can be satisfied.
Yeah, Ken.
I'm never satisfied.
And in the Iron Mask, yeah.
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 Yeah, the boy in the Iron Mask.
Sick freak.
Sanji's smoking habits. Including I do like this. There's these two panels here that are displaying the use of Sanji's smoke, representing his emotional state. So there's the one where he's fantasizing Robin being like my hero, and that vision is coming into his cigarette smoke.
That's very creative.
I didn't even notice that at first. I
69.
Same.
Yeah.
It's page 69.
And then the confused Sanji, where his smoke is making a question mark.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
That's cool. That looks like, is that?
That looks
7?
Alabasta, or Oh,
Yeah.
No. That's Little Garden. That's Little Garden.
Is it Little Garden?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, because he doesn't know where anyone is.
That's
and then,
right.
He finds Mr.
I won
Three's hideout.
that.
Yeah.
Did you?
I was closest with.
I don't know. I think Steve won.
I was correct.
Of me and Steven, though,
yeah.
I win. That's what matters.
I'd give that
Mr.
one.
Three's Little Wax House better be in the live action.
Yes,
Yes.
it better be.
Yeah.
It better be.
For God's sake.
Following that, starting page 70, we have this kind of more like character motivations, the promises that they have made. So, Zoro doing the scar, wounds on the back are a swordsman's shame. The promises that he made to Kuina. The ways in which he has stuck up for the crew. Just a lot of very, very classic Zoro moments. Where he gives himself up to Kuma to take all the damage at the end of Thriller Bark. What else do we have? Zoro letting loose during parties. That's number 6 here.
He does.
He's pouring Sanji some beer.
He did that with Law too, right? There's that GIF that I always see, from Dressrosa.
Yeah, it does point out here in the caption for the party, the Drum Island party thing that don't worry, like he did fight with Sanji after this. So this is not out of character.
Sanji, to be fair, doesn't look super happy to be taking alcohol from Zoro there. He's like, okay, fine.
I think he looks happy. I just think they're not actively
just,
arguing.
Yeah, they're just reflecting on the Sakura.
What they need
explosion.
is a couples therapist. That would help.
Then we have Sanji's selection of the same, not using his hands in combat. The way that he always, when he's curious about food stuff, he will always just ask the chef right away, like, "Ooh, how'd you do this? What'd you do here?" The way that he never wastes food. The way that he never he always forgives a lady and does not kick them or doubt them. Let's see. And speaking of Mr. Three's wax house, there he always. This is number 5. Sanji always seizes the opportunity when the crew is in trouble. Going back to Mr. Prince.
Yeah, thing that needs to happen more. That's my favorite Sanji character.
Yeah, totally. Sanji at his best. Sanji, number 6 here is will extend a helping hand even to those he hates, showing off.
Hey, Ken.
Yes, him
more,
standing.
More mask.
Yeah, can't get enough of that mask.
Yeah, can you taste the pain, Ken? Is that good for you?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Sanji helping his family even when they were going to die.
Yes.
Yeah, that's such a good panel.
Standing on the table. Not not the best manners standing on the table, but it was a good scene.
Well, one of his attacks is called Bad Manners Kick Course. So.
That is true. Yes. And then, of course, the last one is making food for anyone who is hungry, no matter who they are. With that final panel from Whole Cake. Man, that was a great
ending.
Great ending.
Really good. Yeah. Well, bad ending. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Following
that was the name of the chapter, Bad Ending Musical.
Bad End Musical, yeah. We have this is like a column written by one of the what do they call it, the Knowledge King, that's the trivia contest in Japan. One of their winners has a bunch of kind of random trivia, which is obviously I would have to go through it with a magnifying glass for all this text because it's very text heavy.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Yeah, there's some of that stuff, but the next page, okay, 78 and 79, here we have some fun research numbers, some trivia that they cooked up here. So there's a couple different categories that they totaled up these things, and it's funny that that we're doing it this week because I just on Blue Sky I was pointing out the other day I put up a picture of the SBS because I'm in Dressrosa right now, and one of the SBS segments in Dressrosa was the one where they talked about all the different things that Sanji and Zoro have called each other. And I was just, looking back on with trauma, as I said, the way that, because I couldn't just translate it from Japanese to English because it would not reflect what the English version is, that I went through the whole series and basically flipped through every scene where Sanji and Zoro are talking about each other or to each other and totaling up all of the different things that they said. So this is a lot of Sanji and Zoro count the number of blank things. So the first one is they call it Kime scene, or basically cool scenes or cool moments. And this is basically, they defined this as anything that features Sanji and or Zoro and has a don in the sound effects for the scene, and they actually show you like, here's what counts and what doesn't count. So the scene where Sanji leaves the note that says, "I got to see about a girl" at the end of Zo, that one gets a don because it's his message that is front and center. But then they show like a scene where it's the Mary is just a tiny little speck, and you can hear the crew talking. This is like the big whale scene where they're both on the Sunny, and they might be talking. That might be Sanji or Zoro talking, but they are not front and center. So that one doesn't count, even though there's a don. And also there's a picture of Sanji weeping and slamming the ground, and there's don sound effects, but that doesn't count because it is not a cool scene. It's just a sound effect. And so the grand total that they counted up, Zoro has 432 panels in which he does cool stuff, or there's a don. Sanji has 369 panels.
Nice.
Nice. It just tells us what we already know.
Zoro has more cool moments, but they do also point out in the text here that like the solo panels, the ones where it's just a picture of the one character and they're making like a cool entrance or something, Zoro has 81 of those and Sanji has 74. So it's a pretty close, pretty close number.
Love it.
That one's very cool. The next one is the number of tsukomis, which if you know your Japanese comedy, that's the thing where they whack someone else and they are pointing out the joke that they told and telling them off, and making a sort of wry commentary on whatever thing they did.
Hitting somebody because they're acting too stupid.
Yes, and especially old One Piece, like East Blue One Piece. Whenever they scream and they have the jagged teeth, that's another kind of shorthand that that he does. And this one, believe it or not, Zoro has 291 tsukomis. Sanji has 291 tsukomi. They are completely even.
Why did they count this?
I love it. It's great. Yeah, they also point out that the most common target for both of them is Luffy. So they are
the true wings.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. What are wings if not hitting you when you say something stupid?
It says here that perhaps this is a necessary ability in order to be one of the wings of Luffy.
Oh, I accidentally made the joke you made. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice call, Zach.
Thank you.
And so the next one after this is the thing that I was just talking about. It is the all right. So page 79 here. This is not the number of times that they did each one. It is just the total number of different nicknames that they have used. In the Japanese, at least, Zoro has 25 for Sanji, and Sanji has 19 for Zoro. And of course, most of those are like variations on the same thing, where like Zoro has probably at least half of those have something to do with his eyebrow, making fun of his eyebrow. And of course, most of Sanji's are Marimo. So that's a fun one.
Also, Love Cook and Perv.
Yes, yeah, a lot of Love Cook, Perv Cook, Prince, and some of the one-off classics, Hoge and Pirate A and stuff like that.
Pirate A is
that's a really funny one. Yeah.
The Hoge is in Thriller Bark, right? When he falls off the ship.
Yes, Absalom grabs his ankles.
Yeah.
Okay, next one this is a really interesting one. They went through. I'm not sure. Does it say where they took these from? Okay, so this is on cover pages. So this is only on special illustrations, not necessarily in the series itself. but just like random fits that Zoro and Sanji have. And they they ranked in order from 1 through 5 the accessory that each of them wears most often by type.
Wow.
So for Zoro,
what a job to look at this. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. For Zoro, number 1 is belts, which I feel is very appropriate. Being the sex symbol, the belt is obviously the shorthand for sexy times.
So true.
It's no torture mask.
My God, Ken.
well, let's go through the list here. Maybe we'll find something. Number 2 for Zoro is gloves, which I would not have guessed, but apparently he wears a lot of gloves. Number 3 is eyewear, so glasses, sunglasses, and goggles. Number 4 is neckties and scarves, and number 5 is bracelets. They don't have any hard numbers for those, but that's how they ordered them. For Sanji, number 1 is bracelets. Number 2 is the eyewear. Number 3 is hats. I don't know if maybe that counts masks. Number 4 for Sanji is gloves, and number 5 is rings.
Like his jewelry.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And lastly, this one is very fun. The number of smiles that the number of times that they smile. Zoro 31 and Sanji 87.
Unsurprising.
Like total?
I believe it.
I
believe it too.
think so. Yes, yeah, that is in the manga. So that's not special illustration.
Okay.
That's scenes in the manga. And they do point out that of the 32 smiles that Zoro made, 2 of them happened when he was eating bread. So he loves eating bread.
So do I.
I eat bread.
That's when most of my
every
smiles
day.
happen.
Is that a dig at Law or?
Yes.
I think they just noticed that he was smiling twice when eating bread, so they thought we needed to know that.
That also goes back to what we said before with the crying scenes. Like there was more Sanji crying as an adult than Zoro crying in general.
Yep.
Same thing with the smiles, I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. What is this? The next 2 pages are just kind of, I guess they're more examples of their rivalry and stuff. The ways that they trust each other and the ways that they do not trust each other, or the ways that they interact, including the famous scene from Punk Hazard where Zoro is chomping on his lunchbox, his bento box, which was later revealed to have razor blades inside.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yes.
Great gag. I love how subtle that gag is. Or I guess it was an SBS then.
Yeah. And page 82, so the reasons that they are known as the wings of the Pirate King, Luffy. And so I love the thing on the bottom where it's showing like the times when Zoro and Sanji are absolutely on the same page, where they're using Luffy. I don't remember
the 3 times.
Yeah, I don't remember which scene this is on the right where they are doing I think
that's
jump rope
Enies
style
Lobby.
thing.
I think that was after like Luffy did all the fighting and he was tied, like he couldn't move, so they're just using him as a way to get rid of the cannonballs.
Oh, the cannonballs. Okay, yeah. They're definitely hitting something with Luffy. Like it's a slingshot sort of. And then of course, when they built the fire pit in Skypiea, they're very proud of their work there. And then before Skypiea, I singled out this panel too in my read through on Blue Sky. That it is a very funny panel where it's right after they come back up from salvaging the ship, where Luffy meets Mashira and they get along well. And Zoro and Sanji are like telling the story, and they are basically like finishing each other's sentences, and like going back and forth and telling the story together. It is it's very endearing. It's very funny.
More of that, please.
Mm-hmm. Now we get back to the color pages again, and we get the Oh man, I forget what the Viz name is for Mr. Two's fruit.
Clone fruit?
The what?
Clone? Did they use clone or did they say
that might
copy?
Be it.
Copy.
I mean, I could look if you want.
Yeah,
Don't mind me.
I do not remember.
Okay.
These just look
lightning
like
speed Ken over here.
Peanuts.
It's the clone fruit.
Clone fruit. Okay. Yeah, same thing for Mr. One, the slice fruit, I want to say. Dice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works too.
Who knows what these bananas are?
Could be a giraffe.
Sharp bananas.
Yeah, could be. Sorry, I don't know. Are people sick of us always just?
Yeah, we do that every
making
time.
fun of these. Yeah, they keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess at this point, it's like these are never going to be shown in canon. So why not just make them fun?
We're going to eat our words there, and maybe
because if it was just like, it's like, oh, it's a Permissian. Oh, look at that. Anyway.
Persimmon?
Persimmon. Sorry. I never eat one, so I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't either.
I've only ever come across them in like Animal Crossing. No one ever says them out loud. They all just talk in high pitched.
Has there ever been a devil fruit that was a kumquat?
No, I wouldn't want to see what they turn into.
Or a dragon fruit.
A durian, perhaps.
You don't want to go near that one. What would that turn into? That's the question.
Have we had
that'd be Miss Double Fingers fruit, the spikes.
Or caribou,
spiky.
I think, as a durian would be pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be really good, yeah. Steven, do they mention the previous user of the clone fruit at all in this little blurb?
Aunt Clay.
That's a good question.
Yeah, Aunt Clay. Thank you, Ed.
Aunt Clay.
No, they don't. They just talk about like the
how it works.
The capabilities.
It was Kurozumi Higurashi.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't mention.
Okay. Interesting.
Too bad.
On our next page, we get some more art collections of the guys here. We have Zoro, organized by workout images where he's lifting weights and doing all of his
doing his vertical push-ups.
Yes,
as one does.
Including some cover page illustrations as well.
The one with the crocodile.
Yeah, the one with the crocodile where he's reading his book with his foot.
Oh yeah.
And then Zoro doing what he loves best, drinking, including the Oktoberfest one where he is Zoro's just sucking down head there.
Come again?
What?
Delaney.
You heard me.
Delaney, isolate the footage.
You heard me.
They should include
earlier, Zach?
They should include the trick or treat one where his bag says whiskey or beer.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that was a good one too. My promise, it's coming true. Stephen already is.
Look at how cute! Look at how cute he is in the top left corner of 85. He's got his little like sake,
the purse lips
gourd,
thing.
yeah, and he's just walking along. He's so pleased.
Yeah, is that a smile? Does that count?
That's a good question. Yeah, we'd have to ask.
His
them.
gourd jug.
It counts to me.
We also have a label collection of bottles, which is interesting. Most of them are not legible, but it's curious that somebody went through this and got zoomed in on all of these little drawings that it has done. I'm guessing most of these are from the party color spreads. Several of them definitely are. Right. Yeah, just from the way they're colored. On the following page, 86 and 87. I'm
so hungry right now.
Sanji's cooking. Yes.
No, I didn't eat dinner before this, like an idiot, and this was.
Yeah, many of these I believe were the inspiration for some of the Sanji's the pirate cookbook or whatever they called it, Sanji's recipes.
I got that giant meat right now. Looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Delaney,
isolate the footage. How much work are we going to put Delaney through? Don't isolate the footage. Yeah, just listen to this episode and you get all of the
chocolate cake looks very good, or whatever that tort is, or something.
Yeah, which let's see. There's a couple different.
And the lobster.
The lobster is what I was like eyeing. That looks. That looks amazing.
Cut up fruit in a glass is not hard to do, but it looks so appealing the way Oda draws it.
Yeah, that was Sanji's first appearance there in Baratier.
Oh
That's
yeah. What is going on? Oh, the Robin one. I think on the bottom. I remember that was a cover page.
The booby. Yeah, that was a right. That they were baking bread. That was like a reader request or something.
Oh, okay. Can we move on? Because
we'll move on.
Too hungry.
Next, several sets of pages. This is like question and answers. 25 questions with Hirata and Nakai, the voice actors for Sanji and Zoro. And I
have to say, Hirata, from what I recall, is a very funny guy.
They're very.
I feel like have similar senses of humor.
They're very quippy. And of course,
among the younger actors in the Straw Hat crew.
Yeah, so they're all in their 70s.
Yeah.
God.
Jesus, Zach.
They're not all that old, but
no, they've been doing it for 25 years. So how young can you be?
Times that by 3, and then
that's what I do here.
Yeah. It's just a lot of very silly questions, and some fun. Fun answers and stuff like that. Again, this is a long segment. We still got a few things to go through, so I'm not going to single out anything, but a lot of neat stuff. Then there is a selection of anime original episodes featuring Zoro and Sanji. So yes, the G8 kitchen and Zoro in that's also in that filler arc. Yeah. Wait
a minute, Steven.
What's that?
Episode 133. No. That's post Alabasta filler.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just talking about both of those. Yeah. I don't see G8 mentioned here.
I thought I remembered that G8 was like the one where a lot of the interior scenes, it was like pure white. There were so many white backgrounds. Yeah. Very, very, very bright backgrounds.
That's what I remember.
Understandable. I mean, Sanji spent a lot of that filler arc in a kitchen.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody asked, but the G8 filler where Zoro's doing like the 3 mop style, the 3 broom style was like the moment when I became like a real head. You know what I mean? Like that. I was like, I need him.
Josh.
Was that the wrong arc?
In order for you to be a true real head, that was filler in Logtown.
Whatever, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he was cleaning for Tashigi.
I watched all of this stuff 15 years ago, all right?
So did I. And
Steve reads the manga.
My brain is smooth and soaks up useless trivia like a sponge.
I got invited to parties and Steve didn't, so you can see the difference.
While you were out experimenting with drugs and alcohol, I was practicing the way of the broom.
It's Michigan.
Steve was studying the manga.
Yeah.
We have a fun little...
Look at me now, baby, co-host.
A fun little fold-out poster of
this I did. I forgot this existed.
that they have fought, and I do love that for the backside of the poster they did select this one. It did appear earlier in this issue, but they took that one cover page where it is Sanji and Zoro have both been like knocked out. They're both sleeping, but they have the big lump on their head. But they're both imagining having triumphed in their duel over the other. And in Sanji's dream, Zoro is knocked out. His sword is broken on the ground, and Nami is like giving him a very warm, snuggly embrace. And in Zoro's, speaking of the Zoro Chopper, Sanji is knocked out with his feet up in the air, and Chopper is just gazing at Zoro with pure admiration in his eyes.
All he wants is his little brother to love him.
Yeah, and Zoro has Zoro has the "do it for him" board in his cubicle.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And then I forget if this was already mentioned, but for some reason Sanji is like it's stuck in the ground.
Yeah,
vertically.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's like the chimney thing, except to Sanji.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he's cut in half. Is that what it is?
That would be.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's a little too morbid.
Yeah. Let's move on. He's a sword.
Zoro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fun.
Novel?
After that, we have the novel. This is where the Zoro novel starts. And I did flip through this. This is who's the illustrator? Nakamoto. Is this the One Piece Academy guy or something? I know that this artist has done some illustrations for One Piece spin-off work before.
He did the sits on chair thing here. That's what this is, like those figures that people like.
But this story is basically, you can kind of tell.
You don't know those, Ken?
By just looking at the illustrations. This is Zoro shortly before he leaves Shimotsuki Village, aka Frost Moon Village. So like this first one where he's sitting with his sake and looking contemplative. That is they are observing the death day for Kuina, the memorial, and then he is shown, like, he hears the kids in the village singing like a kid's song, and it's about Mihawk, like Mihawk, the hawk-eyed man. His sword moves so fast you can't see it, and then roll, plop, your head falls off and you're dead before you even realize it.
Love that song.
Yeah, I love that one too. It's great. Yeah, when I was a kid, it was just the Batmobile lost a wheel and Joker got away, but they're more hardcore here.
Great green globs of greasy Grammy Go Ferrets.
Yeah. And so, basically Zoro's finding out about Mihawk, like, oh, this guy's like really tough, huh? And so you can see him kind of, he's basically coming to his reason for leaving. There's a dojo destroyer who comes around and tries to basically challenge the Shimotsuki dojo, and so Zoro fights him off. And so it's basically all leading up to him leaving the village. And so you see him with his three swords. He's bowing to Koshiro because he's about to leave the dojo and go on his journey. So it looks like what that novel should be covering is the stuff that Zoro did before getting captured at the base and meeting up with Luffy,
hanging out with Yosaku and Johnny.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, because these things are serialized in this format, it is possible that they might just jump around to different, different periods of Zoro's life. So we'll see. And then we have a One Piece on Ice interview with the I was going to say stage actors, but I guess it's ice actors who play Zoro and Sanji. And I got to say, these pictures look really cool of the...
I've heard good things about... Everyone I know who has went has, said it's a claim, the ice show.
The costuming is definitely on point, and you can definitely tell from a lot of the action shots that they really thought about like the choreography of how to make it look like the characters' actions in the manga and certain scenes.
That Bon Clay is excellent.
Yeah, Sanji's style is too dangerous with ice skates on.
That's true.
Sanji is deadly, and at the end of it, they do have a little montage thing of various shots, and I love in particular, just because it is so recognizable, I love that you can tell they're absolutely doing the shot where Miss Merry Christmas grabs Usopp from below the ground and then runs him through all those walls, because that is exactly what, like, she's holding his waist.
Page 126.
And Usopp has his arms up and he's got this like wailing expression on his face, and it is perfect. It looks just like that scene. It's so funny.
Yeah, both of them, the MVPs of this page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really.
The Chopper stuff. Even. Oh my God.
Chopper's great.
Yeah, I guess that's what they're gonna do in the live action.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just an actor with some. Yeah, it's
ice skates.
I still love how they're doing Alabasta on an ice rink. Like they picked the desert setting.
It's a bizarre choice. I mean, it's a good arc, but it's a
inspired.
Bizarre choice. It is.
I mean, if you think about it,
the best way.
Like it really, like pound for pound, just overall, it really has kind of like the most iconic array of fights in the series. Yeah. So it's a great opportunity for them to do that sort of 2-person choreography.
They said that for movie 8 too, you know?
And look how that turned out.
Yeah.
We do have a 20th anniversary of Portrait of Pirates article.
That's
here.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's been around that long.
Yeah, they do have an interview. It follows that with the I guess this is like the development head of the POP One Piece project. Is this guy Hiroki Kaneko? And so, you know, he obviously does a lot of reminiscing about the various you know, sort of runs that they have had with various seasons of Portrait of Pirates figures. And after that is now here's the good stuff is the not year by year, but like groupings of years of all the figures in the POP line over the years. And
it takes some
really,
turns.
Yeah, it's really quite
you could really point out when things start to go off the rails.
Then they cash grab, I think is the word you're looking for.
Yep.
2015 through 2017.
Yeah, 132, page 132
through 21. Yeah, 2015 through 2021. It like really explodes.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sits on chair, by the way. The page 139, bottom right, is Sanji sits on chair. Ken,
mm-hmm.
that's the line. They did. Yeah. To be fair, it is fan service for all types, but I don't like the
2017. Sanji sits on chair. Then after a while, nothing happened.
Yeah. They also have law on the chair.
I stand corrected. You're very funny, Steve.
I steal it from professional writers in Hollywood.
Love you, Steve. You are funny. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to go through page by page?
No.
Any highlights? No.
Absolutely not.
Can I just point out a couple faves just real fast?
Sure.
Bottom of page 136, Young Garp, extremely hot. Top of 137, I already talked about how much I love that Doflamingo.
I saw that one when I was flipping through this, and my thought was like, gay terrorist got into the bronzer. Like that's it is an amazing look though. It is a fantastic figure.
I hope the history writers say that about me one day.
With the
what do we call it? The
Doflamingers.
The Doflamingers, yeah. The final one that's kind of obscene is at the bottom of 138. They really yesified Bellamy. He's super hot in this figure. I want that.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. I own the Yamato.
It's a good. That is a good.
142. That's the only one I have. It's a good Yamato though. 142.
What's surprising is how lightweight POPs actually are. They come in those,
window boxes.
Mm-hmm. I do have to say
they come in the.
Go ahead, sorry.
They come in a crate. It feels like it, but they're very lightweight.
The modern generation of them, the 21 through 24, they like got back to being good again. It's basically.
Yeah, I think we're
really
doing
nice.
Interesting things. I think we're doing interesting things again now.
That Uda is so cool looking with the rainbow music scales supporting her.
It is crazy to see not just like the difference from the latest ones to the earliest, but also the latest ones. It definitely looks like they're branching out into like how much setting like environment we can put into this and the like effects details and stuff. Where it's not just the character; it's like it's a whole scene that is being depicted.
I remember talking with Greg a long time ago about he was complaining about POPs that they were getting away from that, I think. And he always said that his favorite, or he said at the time, 10 years ago, whatever it was, that that was his favorite kind of figure where it like depicts a scene. Mm-hmm. And so seems like they're finally doing that.
I do think it's kind of funny how a lot of, for all of the guy figures, where they have the abs out, is that the way that they sort of like do this airbrush coloring to like help that definition stand out, because it really does just look like those cosplay like muscle suits that people wear where it's just foam. Yeah.
That
stuff's funny. But
you Val Kilmer.
I thought
Batman Forever.
I thought we'd be going quick through the end here, but there's like there's at least one section that I'm very excited to talk about. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So we're starting to get to the end. So there's a little more. We're getting into some of the ad stuff here, where they have QR codes to like check out and pre-order your figures, Beer Garden Nami, etc. But following the POP section, they do have again. Wish I could share this stuff with you. A long interview with Hiroshi Kitadani and Maki Otsuki for Us and Dear Sunrise. So they're
Josh, were we talking in New York about the Otsuki ones? I forgot who I was talking to about how the ending themes. Those like there's someone in the green room.
No, because I don't think those are my favorites.
Okay, someone was like, "Oh yeah, I really like." It must have been Mike Patton or someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're talking about their memories of it and like some of the idea. Like I can see here in one of these answers that Kitadani is saying when they were listening to a lot of Queen when they did Over the Top, and so there's a lot of like foot stomping with the "We Will Rock You" stuff. So they do talk about some.
I could just see Kitadani getting a lot from Queen. That sounds right.
Yeah, he's definitely a showman for sure. And yeah, lots of really lovely little pictures from the photo shoot where they recorded this. I would assume this interview. And following that, yeah, this is a very cool thing too. They really tucked this away here back in the end.
They really did. This is the best part probably.
Yeah, page 150. They have a section that is Megumi Ishitani's storyboards for the Us opening animation. And it's pretty phenomenal because they're even colored too. Like you can see the color palettes that are just like directly like they went straight into the animation. They did not get touched up at all. And yeah, it's funny because like I don't watch the anime as often, or like we'll watch the episodes every week, like while eating breakfast or whatever. But like my seat at the table is like my back is to the TV, so I'm only like half of the time turning around to watch and stuff like that. And so when everybody talks about like, oh, Ishitani is like amazing, she's the best, and for a lot of Wano, I was sort of like, okay, I'll just take your word for that because I'm not really watching or paying attention. But you can really see like exactly how her thought process worked and how pretty much everything that you see in Us was like right here in the storyboard from that stage. She did it all.
Yeah, even with the manga panel comparisons, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the rare colors.
Yeah. There was one detail that kind of blew my mind. I think it's on the last page of this here. Yeah,
was that?
Sorry, Ed.
What page was that?
155.
155. They show here. So the shot where you see the full crew and they're all in their egghead outfits walking side by side under the One Piece logo. So if you look to the left of that at the storyboard, she pointed out, even though obviously there's no voiceover and it's just a very quick little thing, and there's no mouth flaps or anything like that. She basically wrote out like, here's basically what they're saying to each other. Like this is the nature of what interactions they're having.
That's so cool.
That's such an Oda-ism too.
Yeah,
like
totally.
He always,
like to have modeled out and to know exactly what each character is doing, and that's why it shows up on screen the way it does. Yeah, just
do we get to hear any of that? Is that
pretty amazing?
I'm curious.
Well, no. It's just sort of like so in here. So Luffy's in the middle, and Usopp is like third from the left. But it's saying on the storyboard, Luffy's like, "Hey Usopp, like did you know these shoes are really crazy?" Like it's stuff like that. So like he's basically leaning over to yell at Usopp, who's like 3 people over from him. And like that's the sort of stuff that she is pointing out.
She's something.
I love
else.
it. She is phenomenal. I think, what was it, Steve? We were saying when that opening came out, like it's like a re-inspirational moment for as an artist or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so
I
many.
have to go back. Looking at the storyboards for the Sabo thing, I got to go back. Is there like
54?
On page 154? Is that an instant of Ace like showing up there? I gotta.
Which
Or am I just like
wouldn't surprise me?
Maybe that is maybe that's supposed to be Sabo because the green blocking there is supposed to. So I just see like the circles above that character, and it looks like his goggles. And I don't know if it was supposed to be a motif. I don't think so. But
yeah, I
no,
think
but they both have that.
Sabo. Yeah, because it's like the flames,
Yeah.
and then it's him like turning. And then the crows.
Sorry,
flying
I think
up.
I was just letting my imagination
Karasu.
get the better of me there.
Yeah.
Karasu. Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's great.
yeah, super cool. Very, very much worth getting the magazine to check that stuff out if you love.
Yeah, just
love
for
us.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is totally
Very
great. Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the original content. We get a lot of ads after this. The
Merchandise,
the cosplay photos and stuff, which
That's
they
a
always
creepy
put.
puppet.
A little train car.
Yeah.
The Kumamoto
Sunny-
stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know they were still doing like initiatives in Kumamoto around the 2018 earthquake. Was it? It was a while ago now.
Yeah, well, yeah, so November 2018 was when they started with the Luffy statue. So
Okay.
I think it probably was, or maybe it was 2017. I honestly don't remember
No, it's
that one.
I don't mean to put you on the
So
spot.
we remember the 2011 one,
2011,
because that was
yeah.
very obviously memorable.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean the one in Kumamoto is very, very bad, but not quite as like cataclysmic as
right.
Yeah,
It was more of a way for Oda to give back to his home
and
territory.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just more merch, cosplay photos. I'll point out the one cosplay photo that I really liked, and I'm assuming that this is legit, that it is not like a photo shoot like mock-up thing. Is the very first one where they dressed up as Oden and Toki for their wedding banquet. And so you can see they're walking through the tables and like people are applauding them as they go in with the spotlight on them.
They're blurred out, I have to assume.
Yeah, and it's just Oden and Toki, like full on 100% cosplay. That is the dedication.
To be the
That's
Debbie
so good.
Downer here, but both of those characters die, as Steve would tell you.
Yes, they did.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, but we're all gonna die, Zach. But
Okay, that's a
they
good
at
point.
least-
You know
they
what?
at least,
That's
yeah.
true.
Well, Toki could still be alive.
Okay,
I mean, after-
my favorite is the
God.
following page on
Is that
166.
what you write? Is that what you write in wedding cards, Zach?
Yeah,
Congratulations, you're gonna
we're all
die.
gonna die.
Oh, you
Which
like
one
the,
on
the
one-
dogs?
The dogs.
Yeah.
This is me talking. It's the
Yeah.
dogs.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cute.
Luffy and
It's very cute.
Nami dogs. Yeah,
It's a very good pudding as well, I think.
Yes,
yeah, pretty good.
she's
Yeah,
got
no-
the look down.
Noteworthy too. I feel like this was true of the last. I remember saying this about the last magazine too, but like almost half of these are listed as being from China. So I'm not sure if that's just means that there's a really burgeoning cosplay scene there, or if there's like there's a fan competition to see who can get into the One Piece magazine, and so they're just all sending their photos. But there's a lot of China photos.
I mean, per capita, that's determined if that's
Yeah.
a lot. You know.
Yeah, sure. There's some like
Yeah, the rest mostly looks-
fan favorite cover.
There's the Zoro
pages
duck.
and stuff.
On 170, Zoro duck.
Oh yeah, there it is. The tiny little
2009.
Zoro duck. Mhm.
Yeah, Zoro
Following
duck.
Robin, not following Robin.
The new
But,
Reaper
yeah,
cards, and yeah,
That's basically the end. Some more columns and more ads, and then you have a character motif sticker, which like all of these fold-in things, I have not opened up. I have not.
Yeah, I haven't opened any
of these posters or anything out, but they look like they're pretty cute, chibi stickers of Zoro and Sanji.
I am shocked how much material was in that. I really thought this would just be a discussion about Zoro and Sosan.
Anything, especially anything that has like, here's photos of, or, you know, color illustrations of all of these things over time, you know, we could just go on and on.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. Yeah. No, it was good going down memory lane a little bit, and
for sure,
you know, I think what's important is we all fell in love with Zoro and Sanji along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Even more, even in all ways.
Zach is really trying to be like, see, I was right.
That's really what I do at the end of every podcast.
We'd all be gayer at the end of this.
I said that.
Show me the stats, Zach. Show me the stats.
Delaney isolated all of the footage, I think, whether she did or not.
Thank you for your hard work, Stephen. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, Stephen.
Guys.
I've always loved Stephen's story time, as it's called. Mm-hmm. We don't know when the next one of these is coming out, though. Right? They come out more infrequently.
This came out in June. They're more like one or maybe two a year at this point. So I would not expect the next one anytime soon. But obviously, we will let you know when we hear about volume 19 of the One Piece magazine, whenever that happens to be.
So since this conversation turned out to be around, I'm looking 2 hours long, we're going to go straight to the ending.
Let's do it.
Thank you all for sticking around. We'll be right back.
This is the double anime recap for episodes 1115 and 1116. I'm your host, Sam, and today with me we have Brazil's very own Steve Yurko.
Viva Hatsune Miku.
Why did you ban Twitter, Steve?
Because you know what? It's people just gotta go. You gotta go outside. Even though now there's a million other apps I must destroy. But
we have Blue Sky. We need an app called Green Grass.
Well, that's just called going outside. It wasn't Brazil's fault. It was I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. A lot happened.
I mean, you can always blame somebody else for your actions, Steve. I
true.
thought we understood this about the world.
But there sure are a lot of Miku drawings.
So today we are covering. We're technically currently at the moment 3 episodes behind in our usual anime recaps. We are 4 weeks behind, but one of those is a clip show episode that we don't have to cover. So we're going to just split the remaining episodes between the next couple of podcast episodes. So we're doing 11, 15, 16 today, and then hopefully next week we can cover 17 and 18 next week. And we'll be caught back up. So today we are going to start with 11:15. The Navy surprised. The Navy headquarters former Admiral Kuzan. And if you remember where we left off, Blackbeard and Kuzan were confronting each other in a bar in a flashback memory, explaining how, Kuzan would ultimately join the Blackbeard Pirates. I know there's a lot of kind of random camera work in this early part of the sequence, where there's a weird kind of glitchy skip as the camera pans from Blackbeard's end of the
I noticed
to
that. Yeah, I noticed that too. There was some weird jump cuts. Almost feels like,
or there's one shot where I guess to keep the visuals interesting, I suppose, they just had the camera rotate till the scene was upside down.
Mm-hmm.
I thought just a lot of kind of random, unmotivated choices, I would say. But yeah, so Kuzan freezes his beer, and Blackbeard is
Was it?
Well, first Blackbeard blows a hole in the wall. Like,
well, I think it's like it's some sort of liquor, but I know vodka you can't freeze. I don't know about. I think maybe.
I mean, everything technically has a freezing point at some point, right? Everything turns solid at some temperature.
I get. Oh, vodka? No. Maybe it's got to be really cold. I don't know. Why did I bring this up and not do my research beforehand?
Well, Kuzan freezes his unspecific liquid drink, and Blackbeard is getting ready for his side of the confrontation with some, getting some darkness ready. And they hold long enough just so that you can feel the kick when we cut ahead and they're partying. The lights are on. It's now, rather than the dark kind of blue cool colors, now it's this orange candlelit party atmosphere. Crazy animation of Kuzan and Blackbeard with their arms around each other's shoulders, like laughing it up. Yeah.
Lucid,
faces bulging
maybe?
at the jocular is the word I have written here.
Okay, I think that's good because it just feels very like it almost feels like, oh yeah, when you're intoxicated and everything just feels very loopy in a way.
Yeah, it feels a little Science Saru.
Oh yeah, great comparison.
Yeah, I did get the name of this animator. It's Jack Amin Ibrahim. Is a French animator.
The French.
Or is it Armin or Imin? I got. No, I had it right the first time. Don't worry about it. Delaney cut this part. So Blackbeard calls Kuzan Ice Pop at one point, which is a fun nickname.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard him in Japanese specifically say ice candy, which
oh, interesting. Because I thought it was like I thought he was like calling Kuzan like an old man, which I assume they're at least like close in age.
That's like what like Luffy would call someone, like Ice Pop. Maybe he has referred to that as,
or like
as
how
Kuzan
like
before,
Whitebeard was
not.
Pops.
Yeah,
or OG-san.
But it was referred to as, it's like a treat. I'm pretty sure Blackbeard said like ice candy or.
So then I'm guessing that's just like what they call like an ice pop in.
It's like how like in the UK it's like popsicles are called like iced lollies.
Uh-huh.
I feel like the right way to go about adapting this would be for Blackbeard just to call him a popsicle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like in this scenario where he was calling Kuzan an old man, that would be a very funny like kind of double pun.
Right. Which I don't think that's the case here. Or maybe you could call them Freezy Pop or whatever you like to call those plastic popsicles
Freezies.
You always have in the summer. Freezies,
That's
Otter
what we call them.
Pops. Yeah.
Otter Pops is a brand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're shooting the shit. They're talking about Kuzan and Sakazuki's fight. And then Kuzan's doing like an imitation of what Akainu would have said at the time, like, "Oh, we enlisted in the same year, and now we're in deadly combat. I feel a hot lump in my throat." And then Kuzan gets in the jab, like, "I mean, yeah, you're made of magna. Of course you feel that."
Mm-hmm.
Just like all the things that he might not say to Akainu's face. Kuzan shows off his lost leg, his new ice leg, by letting it break off and land on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and then reforming, which is kind of gross. People are eating there. And they're like, "Oh, did you take an arm or something?" And then Kuzan has to be like, "Nah, but I'm sure he's full of scars." And then Katarina Devon is like, "Scars?" That segues perfectly into our concern about the man with the burn scars who might have the last poneglyph. And Kuzan gets a funny moment where he's like, "Well, maybe that's me," and he's like pulling out his shirt to show his scars.
And
but yeah,
then,
no,
like, the Manzai gag is like, you just got those.
Yeah, so this mythical man with the burn scar is said to be traveling in a pitch black ship, and he creates whirlpools that swallows anybody who gets close. And Shiryu, who would be in the know if anybody was, seems to think that whoever he is must be somebody who works for the government. That this is the government's way of keeping that final road poneglyph away from pirates. And then like Lafitte like cozies up to Blackbeard, is like, "Hey boss, this is a great time to steal this guy's devil fruit powers." He says it like way too loudly. Kuzan hears it and freezes up the place. And he's like, "Do you guys want to go to a world of ice?" But Blackbeard salvages the conversation quickly, like, no. They're like, forget what he said. He's an idiot. He doesn't speak for me. I want you to join us. I want you to be one of ours. I want you to join my crew. And I like this line where Kuzan's like, I guess I've sunk so low that pirates now are worried about my unemployment. But yeah, so Blackbeard's making this, he's delivering the pathos. He's like, hey, you don't have anywhere else to go. You got something you want to fight for, so why not do it for us? All you need to do to be a pirate is have shared goals. Don't even have to fully like each other, as long as we can trust that we're after the same thing. And then that takes us to the eye catch. And then when we come back, we're in the present day again. And Kuzan and Garp are staring down. They were in the middle of their soon-to-be fight. And Garp's like making a plea, like, please, like, let thaw Hibari out. Come back to the Marines. Like, let's not be enemies. And then Kuzan says, Garp, I've always really liked how straightforward you are. So I'm taking a page from your book, and I'm living how I want to live now. And that is a thing he's saying, like, as the camera's like pulling away and forward, so that you get this cool animation of the ice forming, and him like making the gestures outward to know that he's about to cover the whole floor. Gets Garp stuck in the ice for a little bit, and then Kuzan, it's just he's just summoning up a big DBZ energy ball made of ice, and like is throwing it, and then like this cool bit where he's like taking a chunk of the ice nearby that formed, and is now like kind of carrying it like he's about to throw it. He's throwing the ice at Garp, and Garp's he ducks and weaves, and one icicle misses him, but he punches another one and sends it flying back, and so now Kuzan's like fighting off the debris from Garp's punches, and Garp like jumps in. The animation looks crazy, choreography crazy. Garp is able to like jump up in the air and like grab Aokiji by the face and then like slam him back down. And then this scene is suspended as we return to Winter Island. While we're still thinking about Blackbeard, we get the conclusion of Blackbeard versus Law, and it looks like Blackbeard is victorious, with Law laying on the ground, some blood around. Law's hat is knocked off, so it's serious. There's a shot of the submarine sinking and the various Heart Pirates like kind of circling it, and Beppo's off on the sidelines, trying not to feel completely helpless, and we get a little flashback of Chopper giving Beppo some rumble balls at the end of Wano.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, we don't know how this will work on you. Beppo's a mink, Chopper's a shape-shifting reindeer. But here goes. So Beppo eats the rumble balls, and it seems like this triggers Sulong in him, even though there's no full moon. And so now we get some crazy action of Beppo as like a big serious polar bear looking thing with a lion's mane, just wreaking havoc on the Blackbeard pirates.
Absolute unit.
But it doesn't last very long. Like, it's pretty quick before he fatigues and collapses and returns to his like cuddly teddy bear form. But he has enough energy to make a last-ditch attempt to grab Law and swim away. So he's like, Law is just like laying on his back straight while like Beppo is paddling through the waters. And Law is like, just like coughing up blood, like, oh, we can't leave our crew, Beppo. And Beppo is just like, I understand, but we gotta survive and we gotta trust our friends to get out of this themselves. We've been through so much together. This is all we can do at the moment. And then the narrator closes it out by saying the Heart Pirates, led by Trafalgar Law, were defeated at Winter Island.
And that's different from how the Kid Pirates are described. Like
they're like eradicated.
Yeah.
And then that wraps up that episode. The Lilith and Edison segment they're talking about Law, which I'm shocked that wouldn't have been a Law one already.
Same, yeah.
Unless there was one when it was Robin and Chopper. But the next episode is 11:16. Let's go get it. Buggy's big declaration. So we get some. We're getting a scene, a very kind of desaturated scene where the Marines are on an island that has clearly been just recently destroyed. We don't really fully understand the context, but like clearly this is somebody's home that's been in better shape. And T-Bone, everyone's favorite Marine, T-Bone, with his post-time skip mustache. He's...
I could poke an eye out.
Yeah, he's like scrounging around in the rubble, just trying to like help somebody. And a mysterious somebody with a knife behind him jumps him and stabs him. And his death is in the papers. So that's T-Bone down. How many deaths recently have we had? We got Absalom, we got T-Bone, we got...
Well, I remember Greg was talking about having a feeling that T-Bone isn't actually dead, but the anime kind of has me convinced that, yeah, he's pretty dead.
I mean, like, I feel like the reason you kill T-Bone is that he's a character that most people won't miss.
Right, but also like a character that your most devoted fans will remember. But I don't know, just the way they were talking about it at headquarters. If it was a cover up, I don't think you would be seeing this conversation with Sengoku and Tsuru. But yeah, old T-Bone, too nice of a guy.
Too good for this world.
Yeah, too good for this world.
Yeah, so at headquarters, we have Tsuru and Sengoku talking about the story and talking about the fear that the Marines are now in as a result of Cross Guild's bounty system. Because now it's not just pirates who are killing Marines, it's the citizens, it's the people you're supposed to be protecting, which can create extra unrest and paranoia between the cops of the world and the civilians. I love this like very brief, but like it's like a B-roll of Marines and like they're like in some like marsh area. It looks like some sort of like old like 1960s news footage or something. Like it's got kind of a fuzzy film look. Thought that was neat.
Mm-hmm.
Hina shows up to tell Sengoku and Tsuru that like, oh, Garp, yeah, he's going to go get Kobe. He's hanging out with Sword. Also, Kujaku's there because Kujaku is the granddaughter of Tsuru. So that's her stake in that. And yeah, they're off fighting the Blackbird Pirates to save Kobe, and this is news to the elders of the scene. They're not happy about it.
And yeah, this is a lot of characterization here for Hina, who really hasn't been in the story more than you would think, with kind of how much of an impact they had at in the towards the post Alabasta stuff. But yeah, she's like the everyone, all the men swoon over her.
We get some Cross Guild goodness. Buggy he's performing in front of the crowd. He's got his big blanket. He's doing his speeches. There's a guy who comes in and tells Buggy, like, hey, guess what? Your new ship is built and ready to go. And I love this little cartoon of Buggy and like his followers, like kind of just marching across the screen in the, like on like a side scroll with like the cartoony circus background. But Buggy's eyes and teeth pop out as if Gear 5 Luffy had just shown up. But he's just reacting to the fact that the ship is modeled after him. It's just the Buggy the Clown ship. It's the rich man's version of Bartolomeo's ship, but for Buggy. And I mean, like at this point, I feel like everyone involved with Cross Guild just has to accept that Buggy is the face of this. So I wouldn't understand Crocodile or Mihawk getting it in their craw about that. But they do. They approach from behind. Buggy's got his. He's crying so hard that his face is melting. And they take him to the Cross Guild's torture room. I mean, meeting room, where they have clearly just been beating on Buggy, and Buggy's head hangs from a chain on a hook, and Crocodile's hook is bloody, implying he was using it to harm somebody in this room. And yeah, so it's mostly Crocodile and Mihawk discussing amongst themselves how to run the business, while Buggy kind of just whimpers and moans on the hook, until finally Buggy has some guts and he speaks up to them. He's like, "Hey, you guys need money for your operations? You want power? How about fame? Huh? There's a theme going on here, you guys. You don't see it because your brains are so small and your vision is so narrow." And he's basically he remembers back to saying goodbye to Shanks on the day of Roger's execution. We get like the cinematic letterboxing. Buggy is like he had at some point lost sight of his dreams because of the time he spent with Shanks. He kind of was in Shanks' shadow. He's like, oh well, clearly you're the golden boy. You're the guy Roger looks up. You wants expects great things from. It kind of demoralized him. But then seeing Shanks demoralized, seeing Shanks on that day just like kind of low energy and not seizing the day like Roger would have, frustrated Buggy. That was like, hey, you're supposed to be this thing in my life. You're supposed to be this kind of you're supposed to be kind of a compass, a North Star, but you're not being that. So maybe I have to go find my own path here. And so the theme here basically is, hold on to that thing that motivates you and made you want to set out and go to sea. And, it's cowardly to forget that.
You've all become cynical in old age. All you care about is making money.
Yeah, guys, where's that youthful zest, Mihawk, Crocodile? Buggy's there's a shot of Buggy's like hands reaching out to the light, but his hands are stabbed through hooks as well, so it's like really horrifying.
Yeah, it's very like that felt brutal.
And so yeah, Buggy's like, hey, let's think big. Let's go out for let's go for Laugh Tale. Let's find the One Piece. And Mihawk and Crocodile are like, you okay, dude? You really think you can beat Straw Hat, Red Hair, and Blackbeard? Like we don't have that kind of confidence. But Buggy assures them, like, no. All we have to do is outsmart them. A treasure hunt's just a race after all, right? And he's in the process of like taking more beatings from the other two guys, but he's getting on the intercom and he's making his big speech to the crowd, exciting everybody. So now whether they like it or not, the members of Cross Guild are locked into this fight for the One Piece, for the final island, the treasure. That brings us to the eye catch of the episode. We return to Kambaka Queendom, where where the assistants of the Revolutionary Army, generals, are running up to the shore because they've spotted a ship coming in that they don't recognize. Got Ushiano, who's like the cow man, that's Morley's assistant. Ahiru, which is like the robo arm girl, is Bella Betty's assistant. Jiran, which is I don't know how to describe him, but he's Karasu's assistant. Gambo is Humpty Dumpty. He's Lindbergh's. But they're like, watching the ship come from the horizon or approaching the island. Ahiru, I loved Ahiru like making the robo noises as she like lifted her arm, like chunk, chink, chink. It's like Frankie does that sometimes.
Right.
It was fucking cute when she did it. I got a good laugh out of me. And Jiran and Gambo are like making bets on like, oh, do you think this is when Sabo comes back? And I think Jiran is making a lot of money because yes, they are. It is Sabo's comeback, and the revolutionaries back at the big table at the center of the island are hearing the news. So yeah, Sabo is back, and he is with a new voice. Is Miyu Iruno is the actor replacing Toru Furuya, and he's brought with him a ship from Lulusia, including Moda, the farmer girl,
Milk Girl.
Yeah, so they all survived somehow, and they all lived on this ship, and Sabo is taking them back to Kamabaka, and you got Koala running out and like throwing kicks at Sabo, but then she starts crying because she was just worried about him. It's very sweet. And then Sabo has his like private meeting with Dragon and Ivankov. Even the other higher ups of the revolutionaries aren't privy to this conversation because the information is so serious that their lives could be in danger if they knew it. He's about to tell everybody what happened at the reverie. Dun dun dun. To be continued. And then we have a scene of Lilith and Edison in the post credits talking about Crocodile. General thoughts on these two episodes, Steve?
I really like that first episode with Kuzan and Blackbeard. Really great like tension, and then some hilarity, and then kind of sinister. It went sinister with the alliance forming. Really love the emphasis on Blackbeard saying like, "Oh, we're a crew of people that just want the same goal." Just further planting the seed, like just further, just proving the point that Blackbeard is the polar opposite of Luffy. It's like they're very similar, but then how they go about things is very differently, of course, and. Because normally you're so used to the Straw Hats thinking like, oh yeah, they're all friends that support each other. Blackbeard's like, no, we all just want the same thing. We're not friends. So I can only foresee tragedy with the Blackbeard pirates.
Well, even then, see, I look at it as like the Straw Hats do also have a thing in common, which is they all want Luffy to be king of the pirates. So they will all put each other's dreams ahead of their own. It's just like the adventure for the sake of it is kind of like what they're there for.
True.
And like that remains true. And that's like why they can fight each other and bicker and have personality clashes in all other areas.
Mm-hmm. So
like I think like there is something like as pragmatic as it is with Blackbeard. It's like they sort of live off of this assuredness that like. Like they know each other's priorities, and that's why they can all live with each other. Which I think is interesting. I think it's interesting that like Aokiji, that speaks to him, that he actually like there is something that he wants and a freedom that he feels empowered by saying his and Blackbeard's can coexist. Sorry, I feel like I steamrolled over here or something.
No, it's okay. I just wasn't expecting to talk about that so much, but Yeah, very true. Like this alliance continues to be. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more unraveled as we go on, but of course the Kuzan and Garp fight was really cool. Some great sequences there. Just some great choreography with some great animation. And then moving on to the other episode, I think some really cool choices in direction, but I think the animation wasn't really up to snuff. I think it was kind of, some stuff kind of was a little flat, or just not enough, not enough movement there going on for it. But yeah, so it's always more cross-killed, and I like cross-killed. I think the best motif coming from the episode was going from the man that murdered T-Bone to then seeing that guy at the cross-killed meeting, instead of just them to just Sengoku and Tsuru talking about T-Bone getting killed. I liked seeing that and following that guy throughout the episode. And then the second half is with the Revolutionary Army. I'm not the biggest fan of them, and I almost feel like I almost wonder. The Revolutionary Army is like the one group of characters I'm wondering if Oda's getting a little fatigued from trying to design characters, because some of them just feel so outlandish. But also maybe because, like, who knows how much they're going to do, so they got to stand out in some way.
Yeah, it feels kind of like a dumping ground of characters.
Yeah,
like you're not, people will call themselves like, oh, I'm a fan of the Admirals, or I'm a fan of the Emperors, or I'm a fan of this group. But not that many people are like fans of the Revolutionaries as a group.
Yeah, people like Sabo and Koala. And even
people like
Ivankov.
Dragon. People,
yeah,
they like some of the individuals, but like
I can't see. Who knows? The cow guy is gonna be someone's Glepshido someday. But I think that stuff was handled fine. But like nothing like that really blew me away. But like a serviceable episode. But a good batch right here.
Yeah. The first of these two episodes was awesome. It was much more, because I think the episode before I was a little disappointed that the big Garp punch was kind of like the only spectacle moment in that episode. Whereas this one is much more varied. It's much closer to what I meant, what I was looking for. A lot more dense, a lot more variety. And I like that both of these episodes have a theme of characters finding like a purpose in life who you kind of don't expect it from, like between Kuzan and Buggy. It's surprising that they have like a self-motivated purpose, that they have like an internal conflict that they are getting ahead of, rather than just like being functions of somebody else's story. So like that's exciting. It's interesting to daydream about like where could those character arcs be going, right?
Yeah, for sure. And Buggy, Cross Guild in general, is feeling very wild card, because obviously, even though like Crocodile and Mihawk are very strong, they don't really have the comparable strength of their competition. So they're definitely gonna scheme more, and I'm looking forward to that.
And it's exciting to think that, like, what if some of this stuff that Buggy's saying does rub off on them? Like, Crocodile has he gave up on being Pirate King. Like, he must get that back in some form. Like, Mihawk must have something that we don't know about him that like really drives him and makes him feel passionate. So like that's like the theme here is like the otherwise not as passionate characters proving that like they too are capable of being dreamers. They I think that's interesting. I think that's fun. And it's going to make the story more interesting moving forward for certain. All right. Anything else?
I agree. Yeah, I think I've talked about this with friends before. I'm like, I think I've said this a bunch on the podcast. Like, I cannot predict how this end game is going to go. Like, I have like faintest ideas, vague concepts, but anything could happen. And that's what's great.
Yeah. Like, I'm imagining, I feel like there's got to be like some like 4-way showdown on Laugh Tale between the groups, right?
Possibly, yeah.
You know, can you imagine like Buggy being like sincerely like, "Hey guys, I'm the one who's going to be king of the pirates here," and you got Mihawk and Crocodile behind him, sincerely being like, "Yeah, we're going to make that happen for him. We got a plan."
We could use that.
All right. Anything else you want to say before we move on, Steve?
Nah, I'm all good.
All right. Let's wrap this up then. Let's move on.
Alrighty.
This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 832 for the week of September 2nd, 2024. Thank you all so much for coming on. Thank you, Ed. I'm very happy to have you back.
Yeah. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Ken, thank you. Josh, thank you.
Of course.
Also, Steve and Steven. Of course, Steven.
here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven does all the work, and then you're just like, yeah.
Steven's
Yeah,
here.
by the way, Steven's here.
So we have some pretty cool guests coming over the next month. We have Paisley Pikachu, also known as Katie, coming on next week. Roger's Base the following week. Jammer is going to come with some opinions the one after that. And Melon Lad is coming on for the last of those episodes in September. So look forward to all of that. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. We don't have a live show to plug, so that's nice that I don't have to do that. I want to give a shout out to Adil, who has been really really proactive on the social media stuff and doing some really cool anniversary things that make us all feel really, really ancient. But it's been great, and a lot of listener back and forth with that, so that's always fun. Anyway, Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me on twitter.com at KindKing01. You can also find me running the One Piece Art Collab Volume 2. We are our last month of the collab, so if you're an artist out there who loves One Piece, we have about 80 characters left to draw. We're drawing every single character from Post-Dressrosa to Egghead, and so it's about 830 characters from those 2 points. And
wow.
we're down to our last 80 characters. So if you're an artist and want to join the collab, this is the last month to join. The deadline is the end of September. And we have Alex is participating, Mike Patton is participating, Joy Weiser, Jose, a bunch of friends from the show are all participating. So check us out over at OP Collab on Twitter.
Thank you, Ken.
Very good art from that already.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Steven. I feel like I've pinged Steven a million times asking him for clarifications on like spellings of names.
Oh yeah,
and translations.
that's right. That's why you were doing that.
Yep, that's exactly why. So thank you, Steven.
You're welcome.
Josh, where can people find you?
You may not find me.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You can find me online at user Amons, AMONNS. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd.
Steve.
Well, you could follow me. You can find me at steveyurko.com. Social media, including Brazil's new favorite social media site, Blue Sky.
Yeah. Which is great. I do like Blue Sky.
It's at Steve Yurko, unless it's Blue Sky, where it's like Steve Yurko dot Blue Sky.
It's your IP address.
No.
Dot
Yours is SteveYurko.com.
W.
Steve, I hate to tell you, your handle is just your name.
Sorry, Zach loves it there, so he knows everyone's weird.
I'm not there enough, but I do love it there. Yeah.
Usernames there. And my other ventures too. I co-host 4 Kids Flashback with Tara Sands. New episodes every week, and also on our Patreon as well. On the YouTube channel, ProZD Plays Games. New episodes every day. And no other conventions for a while, so I know a lot of listeners came by the Artist Alley table and to our live show, and Thank you so much for stopping by and supporting me, Vero, and everyone else.
And Ed, where could the good people find us?
Well, you are Zach_Logan on Twitter still. I'm still Edward E. One Piece on Twitter. Just Edward E. on Blue Sky. Podcast can be found at onepiecepodcast.com. Recently new and improved within the last year.
2 years, I think.
Yeah. And you can listen to our episodes on YouTube, youtube.com/onepiecepodcast. Podcast also has a Blue Sky account, onepiecepodcast.com on Blue Sky. Also, twitter.com/onepiecepodcast. onepiecepodcast@gmail.com is our email address. Anything else you want to mention, Zach?
Or you could call us at our phone number.
That's right.
347-497
Maji.
Has anybody ever called you guys at your phone number?
Yes, but it's I keep forgetting.
Well, anytime someone does call me at my phone number, Josh, I'm too afraid to pick up.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Should just be an email.
Honestly, in this day and age, no one important is calling you.
347-497-6254.
Yeah, Ed is
Call
correct. 6254. Call anytime with questions, comments, theories, or why you can't get enough of that mask.
Anytime.
So Ken's going to be calling. Yeah, we'll see you next week with chapter 1025, I think. Anyway, we'll see you then. We'll find out what number it's for. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
And my name is Steve.
See you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye. See you next week. Yeah.
And I'm at stephenpaul.bsky.social.
Ooh. Zach, it is
No
so
one
over
pointed
for
it out
you.
to me.
It is so over.